Chapter 361. The royal family is General Lin's best friend. Lin Moi chased after it like a shooting star. The Thunder Eagle was very fast, its huge body dragging a long fiery tail. The Thunder Eagle was fast, but Lin Moi was even faster. The distance between the two was getting closer and closer. Lin Moi saw the Thunder Eagle's destination, a high mountain shrouded in lightning, Thunder Eagle Mountain. Whether it was nightmare or hell difficulty, the mechanisms of the dungeon were similar. In nightmare difficulty, the boss Thunder Eagle would also flee to Thunder Eagle Mountain after being severely injured. In Thunder Eagle Mountain, it could quickly recover and become even stronger than before. To clear the dungeon, it needed to be killed twice, the second time being more difficult than the first. Thunder Eagle Mountain was close at hand, and the Thunder Eagle quickly landed on the top of the mountain. The mountain was full of terrifying lightning, a large amount of lightning struck it, and its aura was rapidly increasing, and its injuries were also recovering. Lin Moi followed closely, and the Thunder Eagle let out a sharp roar. In an instant, Thunder Eagle Mountain rioted. A full 30 smaller Thunder Eagles flew out of the mountain at the same time, accompanied by a large amount of lightning, charging towards Lin Moi. It's different from nightmare difficulty. In nightmare difficulty, after the boss returns to Thunder Eagle Mountain, there would be no small Thunder Eagles appearing. Hell difficulty was obviously more difficult. In addition to dealing with the boss, they also had to deal with these small Thunder Eagles. For a 12-person Hell strategy team, the 30 small Thunder Eagles in front of them, plus the boss who would soon join the battle, did indeed increase the difficulty a lot. They needed to clear all 30 small Thunder Eagles before the boss returned. This placed high demands on the team's strength. But for Lin Moi, quantity was not only meaningless, but the more the better. Lin Moi wore wings of lightning and flew rapidly in the air. The small Thunder Eagles chased after Lin Moi, but could never catch up. He was waiting for the Thunder Eagle boss to return. The wings of lightning only lasted for 1 minute, and now there were 40 seconds left. After 30 seconds, a high-pitched scream came from the top of Thunder Eagle Mountain, and then the boss Thunder Eagle returned to the battlefield. Its aura was stronger than before, its level had increased by 1, and its attributes had also increased. 35 seconds. Lin Moi noted the time. The Thunder Eagle would return to the battlefield 35 seconds after returning. Now that the time was known, there was no need to delay any longer. The wings of lightning vibrated, Lin Moi's speed suddenly increased, and he turned and landed directly on a small Thunder Eagle. The small Thunder Eagle was slightly smaller than the boss, but it was also 3 meters wide, and its wingspan reached 10 meters, enough for several people to stand on. 5 skeleton berserkers appeared around Lin Moi. A red light flashed. Skill, Curse of Aging. The world of the Thunder Eagle suddenly changed. 15 times increased damage, 100 times deceleration. Even the Thunder Eagle, known for its speed, was completely slowed down at this moment. The 5 skeleton berserkers simultaneously unleashed their skills, the red light on their axes surged and then chopped down. With a bang, the small Thunder Eagle let out a scream and was instantly killed. At the moment of its death, Lin Moi pointed his finger. Skill, Corpse Explosion. After the second turn, the skill level of Corpse Explosion did not change. But the talent amplification changed from 40 times to 50 times. Similarly, level 6 Corpse Explosion, the range changed from 240 meters to 300 meters. The damage changed from 14 times the corpse's health to 17.5 times. Plus the 10 times damage increase from the curse. An explosion sounded, and terrifying energy swept across the sky. All the small Thunder Eagles were collectively killed in seconds, and even the boss was severely damaged again. At this time, Lin Moi's wings of lightning had 5 seconds left. Lin Moi stood in the center of the explosion, his wings spread out like a demon god. He continuously launched attacks left and right. 3 skills per second, this was Lin Moi's current skill casting speed limit. However, when he was in the trials of the Divine Summer Tower, he learned a technique from the assassin class. He could use skills simultaneously with both hands, with an interval of about 0.1 seconds before and after. This could greatly increase the skill casting speed. In this state, he could release 5 skills every second. Before the corpses of the small Thunder Eagles fell, Lin Moi had detonated them more than 10 times in a row. Amidst the roar, Thunder Mountain shook, and the lightning was extinguished. The boss Thunder Eagle fell with a miserable howl. This time it did not get up again. Killed Thunder Eagle, experience plus 49,000,000. Gained Lightning Longsword. Gained lightning armor. Gained lightning crystal shard 4. Lightning longsword. Platinum grade weapon, all attributes plus 1200, swordsman skills increased by 60%, skill, lightning slash. Lightning slash. Deals 100% of own strength as damage to the enemy, and also comes with 100% of own strength as electric elemental damage, has a chance to put the enemy into a paralyzed state for 5 seconds, cooldown time 1 minute. Lightning armor. Platinum grade armor, all attributes plus 800, electric elemental damage reduced by 20%. The attributes of the lightning longsword were average, it could only be considered the bottom of the platinum grade weapons. However, the skill it came with was not bad, it should be worth some money. The lightning armor was very ordinary, with no highlights. But the number of lightning crystal shards surprised Lin Moi slightly. It dropped 4 at once, which was not a small amount. Adding the one he obtained from the Thunder Swamp Lightning Ape before, he could synthesize a lightning crystal. This dungeon trip was quite rewarding. Not only did he unexpectedly obtain the Lightning Wings skill, but he also saw a very secret matter and learned the cause of the Thunder God's death. The King of the Wild Beasts, a terrifying monster that could even kill the Thunder God. Lin Moi couldn't help but compare the King of the Wild Beasts with the one in the ancient battlefield, and found that he couldn't get an answer. Both were too strong, stronger than his understanding. His gaze searched Thunder Mountain again, and after confirming that there were no omissions, Lin Moi exited the dungeon. Outside the dungeon, those elders of the royal family had already left. Only Dongfang Yao and Dongfang Yi were still there. Lin Moi still recognized Dongfang Yi as the lord of the nation. Greetings, Lord. Lin Moi took the initiative to greet Dongfang Yi. Dongfang Yi smiled and said, General Lin is so young, I have been hearing legends about General Lin recently, you are truly a formidable young man. Lin Moi smiled slightly, Lord is too kind. Dongfang Yi said, regarding Dongfang Shun's matter earlier, I apologize to General Lin on behalf of the royal family, if General Lin needs anything, he can directly tell Yaoer. 22. If it is within the capabilities of my royal family, I will certainly agree. This counts as a promise, as Dongfang Yi is not only the ruler of the nation, but also a divine-level powerhouse. Lin Moyu understands the weight of his promise. Lin Moyu didn't take Dongfang Shun's matter to heart, especially since he owed Dongfang Li a favor before. Thank you, Your Majesty. If there is anything Your Majesty needs that I can help with, please feel free to ask. Dongfang Yi laughed heartily, good, 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 our royal family will be Divine General Lin's best friend. You young people chat, this old man won't be an eyesore here. Dongfang Yi got the answer he wanted, although it was just a sentence, it was enough. He had investigated and understood Lin Moyu, knowing that with Lin Moyu's style, he would definitely do what he said. Maintaining a good relationship with Lin Moyu is the best outcome. After Dongfang Yi left, Dongfang Yao immediately became active. Her eyes glowed slightly, and her red lips parted slightly, eagerly asking about the dungeon. Mainly asking about some changes in hell difficulty. Lin Moyu explained the changes after the upgrade, and Dongfang Yao recorded them all. When their royal team goes to raid the dungeon, it can be much smoother. Dongfang Yao said, then after you've had your fill of farming, we'll organize a team to go in again. Lin Moyu said, you can go in now, don't worry about me. Ah, Dongfang Yao was stunned, how did it suddenly change again? She thought Lin Moyu would be farming for a while. Now that she heard Lin Moyu say this, she felt that maybe Lin Moyu's previous words were just a test. Just simply testing her sincerity. Or rather, Lin Moyu really remembered Dongfang Li's favor. In any case, now that Lin Moyu has said so, she can organize personnel. The royal family's dungeon raiding team has been on standby for a long time, and can enter the dungeon with just her order. Lin Moyu has already obtained what he needs, so naturally there will be no more restrictions. Dongfang Yao asked again, we can really go farm the dungeon. Lin Moyu nodded, yes, you can. After saying that, he took out the cooldown amulet, reset the dungeon cooldown time, and entered the dungeon again. Dongfang Yao's eyes darted around, and she immediately issued a new instruction with the communicator. Soon, a 12-person team ran over. After reading the dungeon notes recorded by Dongfang Yao, they teleported into the dungeon. Then the second team and the third team came one after another. The strength of the royal family is evident. Chapter 362, It seems we can't kill too fast. Electric Grass and Thunder God Sword were already in hand, and even the lightning gem was taken away by him. Lin Moyu no longer needs to restrict the royal family from farming the dungeon. The dungeon always exists, and it's the same no matter how many teams come in. Now his second run of the dungeon is for elemental crystals, and the royal team is also for elemental crystals. After Lin Moyu entered the dungeon, he directly unfolded the wings of lightning and rushed into the valley at the fastest speed. Although there are a lot of monsters outside the valley, they are too scattered and inefficient. Elemental dungeons are not good leveling dungeons. Finish farming quickly, get enough lightning crystals, and then find a suitable dungeon to level up. The wings of lightning sparked and flashed all the way, instantly passing through the valley, and then plunged into the thunder swamp. In the center of the swamp, in the largest thunder lake, there was no more grass. The lightning ape leapt out, greeted by the undead legion. The skeleton archmage and skeleton sharpshooter had been waiting on the shore, and when the lightning ape appeared, they instantly focused their fire. The lightning ape had just jumped out of the swamp, and only had time to make a few symbolic counterattacks before turning into a corpse. Aside from a lightning crystal fragment, there was nothing. Lin Moyu felt that among the many hell-level dungeon bosses, the lightning ape was definitely the poorest. The undead legion broke through the swamp and continued towards Thunder Eagle Mountain. The Thunder God Sword on the way had disappeared, and the place where the Thunder God Sword was located was densely packed with lightning strikes, blocking the road to Thunder Eagle Mountain. When Lin Moyu arrived, even though he was still 1,000 meters away, lightning had already struck him. However, without the Thunder God Sword, the power of the lightning was greatly reduced, and even the bone armor could not be broken. This level of attack was completely ignored by Lin Moyu. Even with the Thunder God Sword, Lin Moyu could easily resist it, let alone now. If it were another professional team, the sea of electricity here would still be a difficult test. Braving the dense lightning attacks, Lin Moyu crossed over and saw Thunder Eagle Mountain. A sharp eagle cry came, and the huge Thunder Eagle carrying wind and thunder swooped down from the sky. A lightning ball spat out, and the place where Lin Moyu was located instantly turned into a sea of thunder. The skeleton archmage and skeleton sharpshooter stood motionless in the sea of thunder. Skill, Curse of Aging. Red light filled the sky, and the speed of the Thunder Eagle was greatly reduced. The skeleton sharpshooter simultaneously drew his bow and shot an arrow. The arrow light flashed past, tearing through space, and instantly pierced into the Thunder Eagle's body. In the blink of an eye, thousands of arrows were inserted into the Thunder Eagle's body, turning it into a veritable porcupine eagle. Then it exploded like fireworks, and the skeleton archmage's elemental explosion carried colorful light, colorful and extremely dazzling. Curse increased damage by 15 times, the amount of damage is unimaginable. It is a boss in a hell-level dungeon, and coupled with the life force enhancement characteristic, its life force is extremely powerful. But facing the strong attack of the undead legion, it still could not withstand it. With a scream, the Thunder Eagle quickly turned around and flew towards Thunder Eagle Mountain. It was going back to recover. But this time Lin Moyu didn't give it a chance. The wings of lightning unfolded, and almost in the blink of an eye, it caught up with the Thunder Eagle. Affected by the curse, the speed of the Thunder Eagle was completely incomparable to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu landed on its body, and nearly 100 skeleton berserkers appeared. The axe carried a red light, skill burst. Berserk Slaughter Level 1 deals 500% of its own strength damage to the target, cooldown time is 10 minutes. Among the 3 types of skeletons in the Undead Legion, the Skeleton Berserker is the best in terms of instantaneous burst. With one blow, the Thunder Eagle fell from the sky. Kill Thunder Eagle, experience plus 490000. Obtain Lightning Dagger. Obtain Lightning Crystal Fragment 2. Lightning Dagger. Platinum Weapon, all attributes plus 1200, Assassin Type Skill Amplification 60%, Skill, Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike. Deals electric elemental damage equivalent to its own strength attribute to the enemy, causing a paralysis effect every 3 seconds for 30 seconds. Cooldown time is 5 minutes. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. Why did the lightning crystal fragment only drop 2 this time, half less than last time? And only 1 item dropped. Lin Moyu's eyes were a little puzzled. Could it be because I killed too fast? 23. Normally, Thunder Eagles would return to Thunder Eagle Mountain to recover before their death. You need to defeat the Thunder Eagle twice to truly clear the level. But now, I didn't give the Thunder Eagle a chance to go back and recover. So the gains obtained are also greatly reduced. Besides this possibility, it can only be said that the Thunder Eagle's drops are random. It is possible to get from 2 to 4. Lin Mo thought for a while, exited the dungeon, used a cooldown amulet, and then entered again. This time, Lin Mo didn't directly kill the Thunder Eagle, but let it go back to recover and carried out a second kill. Sure enough, this time the dropped items increased, and the number of lightning crystal fragments also increased to 4. It seems like you really can't fight too fast. After repeatedly farming it several times, as long as he followed the dungeon's mechanism rules, the Thunder Eagle would drop 4 elemental crystal fragments each time. One complete run would get him a complete lightning crystal. Including the dungeon upgrade, he farmed it 6 times in just 2 hours. Looking at the 2 elemental god stones in his hand, Lin Mo let out a long breath. He finally integrated the crystals from the 5 major elemental dungeons into them. Not only the 5 major elemental dungeons, but also other elemental crystals were additionally integrated. A elemental god stone fire, poison, earth, light, water, wind, lightning used during 3rd job advancement to increase the chance of job sublimation by 35%. A elemental god stone fire, earth, light, water, wind, lightning used during 3rd job advancement to increase the chance of job sublimation by 30%. The 2 elemental god stones are slightly different, lacking the poison element, and the effects are slightly different. I wonder how long it will take for the Earth Touch Dragon God to reappear. If there's a chance, I can get another poison crystal. Or find another boss that can drop poison crystals. Lin Mo thought in his heart, this kind of thing is a matter of chance, everything depends on luck. Putting away the elemental god stones, Lin Mo exited the dungeon. He had farmed enough, and now he still had 4 lightning crystals on hand. In addition, there were also remaining fire crystals, earth crystals, light crystals, clear water crystals, and whirlwind crystals. If he wanted to, he could assemble brand new elemental god stones at any time. Inside the palace, Dongfang Yao and Lin Mo walked side by side. Dongfang Yao was leading Lin Mo to the teleportation array. She personally watched Lin Mo complete the dungeon upgrade in less than 2 hours. And he repeatedly farmed the dungeon 6 times, obtaining enough elemental crystals. Dongfang Yao asked, "Where will you go next?" Lin Mo thought for a while, "I might stay in the dungeon hall for a while." Dongfang Yao understood Lin Mo's thoughts, with your job strength, as long as your level increases, your combat power will be terrifying. Dongfang Yao felt that Lin Mo, who had just completed his 2nd job advancement, could compete with many top-tier professionals at level 70,327. If Lin Mo could reach level 50 or even level 60 and master new skills, he would probably be even more powerful. It would be easy to challenge opponents above his level. The 2 arrived in front of the teleportation array. Dongfang Yao said with a smile, "Then if I still need to ask you for help, how should I contact you?" Lin Mo thought for a while, raised his wrist, and added each other as friends on their communicators. This way, as long as he wasn't in the meta battlefield or the ancient battlefield, Dongfang Yao could contact him. Even if he was in a dungeon, Dongfang Yao could leave a message. He would receive the message after he finished farming the dungeon. Don't refuse when the time comes. Dongfang Yao smiled like a flower. Lin Mo still owed Dongfang Li a favor, so naturally he wouldn't refuse. "I will definitely help if I can." Unconsciously, the relationship between the 2 had improved a little. From a purely transactional relationship to friends. Hearing Lin Mo's answer, Dongfang Yao smiled even more happily. Dongfang Yao activated the teleportation array, making hand seals one after another, and the 2 disappeared into the teleportation array at the same time. The scene during teleportation was fragmented and bizarre, and Lin Mo suddenly felt a trace of palpitation. Immediately afterwards, Dongfang Yao also felt something was wrong, and her whole body instantly tensed up. She looked at Lin Mo, and saw caution and vigilance in Lin Mo's eyes. From inside the palace to outside the palace, the teleportation would take at most 2 seconds. But the 2 teleported for a full 5 minutes before landing. With the speed of the teleportation array, such a long teleportation time had completely exceeded the borders of the Divine Sha Empire. The cold wind with a rotten smell rushed into her nostrils, and Dongfang Yao immediately became extremely flustered, exclaiming, "Corpse realm, how did we get to the corpse realm?" Lin Mo also saw a rotting corpse in his eyes, rushing towards the 2 of them. Chapter 363, The Weird Corpse Realm, Immortal and Indestructible. With a tap of his finger, white light burst forth. Skill, Bone Fangs. 2,000 white fangs shot out, turning the rushing corpse into a sieve. The already tattered body was blown to pieces on the spot. Lin Mo asked in a deep voice, "How did we get here?" Dongfang Yao was obviously very panicked at this time. "I don't know." Lin Mo coughed lightly. "Don't panic, think carefully, first tell me, what kind of place is the corpse realm?" Now that they had arrived here, there was no need to dwell on how they got here. First, they had to figure out what the corpse realm was. 2 more corpses rushed over, very fast, a little faster than before. This time, Lin Mo saw a little more clearly than just now. The rushing corpses were almost the same as the human race in appearance. Their whole bodies were rotten beyond recognition, with holes everywhere. If it were an ordinary person, they would have died long ago. But even so, they were still not dead, and they rushed over with hoarse howls. Their speed was not slow. Bone fangs erupted, completely smashing the 2 corpses. But they were still not dead. Even if only a head remained, they were still there, opening their mouths and shouting non-stop. The rotten smell became stronger. Lin Mo frowned and looked at Dongfang Yao. Dongfang Yao said anxiously, "This is the corpse realm, I don't know why we came here." Lin Mo interrupted her. "I know this is the corpse realm, calm down, explain clearly." Dongfang Yao tried her best to calm down, but her trembling body betrayed her uneasy heart. Regardless of the rotten stench, Dongfang Yao still took a deep breath. The corpse realm is an ancient small world. A great war broke out here a long time ago. The great war shattered this world, and someone used a terrifying skill here at that time. This skill caused the entire world to mutate, and the people in this world at that time all turned into corpses. Enough, Lin Mo shouted in a low voice, interrupting Dongfang Yao again. "I'm not asking about the origin of the corpse realm, I'm asking what we should pay attention to here, what dangers there are." Dongfang Yao was startled by Lin Mo, and quickly said, I don't know much about the corpse realm. I only know that you must not be bitten by a corpse, otherwise you will also be contaminated by the plague and turn into a corpse." At this moment, a thunderclap suddenly sounded in the air, and a bolt of lightning streaked across the earth. Lin Mo was shocked to find that the lightning was actually purple, and even had a faint white light, which was very strange. Then raindrops fell from the sky. The rain not only did not wash away the rotten smell, but made the smell even stronger. A ball of white light lit up, and the bone armor suddenly lit up. "This water is not right. I 1/2. 24. Lin Mo Yu felt a shock in his heart. The rainwater was both acidic and foul-smelling, carrying a strong corrosive property, which actually activated the bone armor. "Ah!" A cry of surprise came from beside him. The rain fell on her, obviously injuring her as well. A shield appeared in Dongfang Yao's hand, held horizontally above her head like an umbrella, blocking the rain. The rain fell on the shield, emitting bursts of green smoke, and the shield was being corroded at a speed visible to the naked eye. Knight. Lin Mo Yu noticed Dongfang Yao's profession for the first time, but upon closer inspection, it didn't seem like it. Dongfang Yao was not a knight. A knight's shield wasn't used like this. Lin Mo Yu now had considerable understanding of knights, having seen all kinds of knight professions. After thinking about it in his mind, he couldn't find a profession that matched Dongfang Yao. The shield was rapidly corroding, unable to last long. Dongfang Yao's face showed anxiety and fear. At this moment, she suddenly received Lin Mo Yu's team invitation and accepted without hesitation. Then Lin Mo Yu pointed a finger, and her body flashed with white light, the bone armor shining brightly, blocking the rain. Thank you. Dongfang Yao thanked Lin Mo Yu. If it weren't for Lin Mo Yu, she feared she wouldn't have been able to hold on. Although there were still many shields in her storage space, who knew how long this rain would last? Lin Mo Yu asked, "What else do you know about the corpse realm?" Dongfang Yao said, "My level isn't high enough, my rank isn't high enough, so the information I know is very limited. Anyway, the corpse realm is extremely dangerous, and it's probably very difficult to leave here. My father once told me that the reason our Dongfang family can become the rulers of the Divine Summer Empire isn't because we are so strong, but because our Dongfang family bears the responsibility of guarding the corpse realm. The corpse realm existed even before the Divine Summer Empire was established. Once, the corpses in the corpse realm were about to rush into our human world. At that time, an ancestor of our Dongfang family blocked the corpses with his own life. He sacrificed himself, buying enough time for the human race. Later, guarding the corpse realm became our Dongfang family's responsibility. After the Divine Summer Empire was established, our Dongfang family also became the rulers. After listening, Lin Mo Yu took out the Abyss Teleportation Stone. The Abyss Teleportation Stone was now dim and without light, having lost its function. There were only two possibilities for the Abyss Teleportation Stone to lose its function. One was that the corpse realm was shrouded in an extremely powerful barrier or formation, shielding all teleportation items. The other was that the corpse realm was extremely far from the abyss, exceeding the limit of the teleportation stone. After all, the energy of the Abyss Teleportation Stone was limited, and the distance was also limited. Based on the time it took to teleport here from the palace, both situations were possible. The rainwater, with its strong corrosiveness, scoured the earth, but the three corpses that had been smashed earlier were not injured at all. Lin Mo Yu even saw that they seemed to be growing under the scouring of the rainwater. The three heads were gulping down the acidic, foul-smelling rainwater. Their bodies were actually growing back slowly. This scene was horrifying, and Dongfang Yao screamed again. After all, she was a girl, and such a scene always aroused fear. "Should we leave here?" Dongfang Yao asked, her heart trembling as she looked at the frightening scene. "Leave? Where to? Which direction to go?" Lin Mo Yu asked. All around was pitch black and foul-smelling, and it was unknown which way to go was the right one. Dongfang Yao said, "Go towards the center. I remember there's a secret realm in the center of the corpse realm. There's a teleportation array in that secret realm that can return to the human world." "Why didn't you say so earlier?" Lin Mo Yu asked. Dongfang Yao was a little embarrassed. "I was just a little scared, so I forgot." Lin Mo Yu didn't dwell on the matter and continued to ask, "Then how do we get to the center?" Dongfang Yao shook her head, "I don't know." Okay, saying it was the same as not saying it. Without knowing the direction or the size of the corpse realm, it would probably be difficult to find. Since that was the case, Lin Mo Yu was not in a hurry to set off. It was relatively safe here for the time being, and he would figure things out first. Planning before acting, Lin Mo Yu was very careful in the face of such a strange world. Lin Mo Yu didn't move, and Dongfang Yao didn't dare to move even more. She huddled tightly next to Lin Mo Yu. The bone armors of the two were close together, almost hanging on each other. He cast a detection spell, and the returned information was very simple. Low-level corpse. Level 5. Besides the name and level, there was no other information. He summoned a skeleton berserker. The skeleton berserker walked towards the corpse, braving the acidic, corrosive rainwater. He deliberately stretched his foot to the corpse's mouth. The corpse suddenly bit down on the skeleton's bone. Lin Mo Yu carefully sensed that the skeleton berserker had suffered a slight, almost imperceptible amount of damage. The corpse's attack power was very weak, and according to its strength attribute, it would not exceed 100 points of strength. Jiao la jiao. This attack power was not even as damaging as the rain. The skeleton berserker raised his axe and slammed it heavily on the corpse's head. With a bang, the head was split in half. There was no blood, it was as if a piece of firewood had been split open. But strangely, the corpse that had been split in half was still moving its mouth. Moreover, in the rainwater, it actually had a tendency to regrow. "Can't be killed." Lin Mo Yu's heart stirred, and the skeleton berserker put the two pieces of head together again. After a while, the head actually grew back together. Only there was a crack on the head, like a scar, which was made by the skeleton berserker with his axe, looking extremely strange. Dongfang Yao had been so scared that she closed her eyes and dared not look at Wo. She didn't understand why Lin Mo Yu was doing this. After doing this, Lin Mo Yu once again had the skeleton berserker grab the axe and smash the corpse's head. This time he used the back of the axe, really smashing it into a pile of mud. Then he pieced this pile of mud together. To Lin Mo Yu's shock, in the rain, this mud was actually recovering. Dongfang Yao was even more frightened and speechless, shrinking tightly behind Lin Mo Yu. Chapter 364. No soul, immune to curses, not a living thing. Lin Mo Yu looked at this scene and felt that something was too wrong. He didn't believe there was anything that couldn't be killed. Even desolate beasts could also be killed. How could this mere level 5 low-level corpse be unkillable? The skeleton berserker acted again, this time smashing it even finer and more rotten. And not letting them come together again. 25. As a result, in the rain, the rotten flesh that had already turned into mud began to show signs of growth again. Moreover, it was growing on its own. At this moment, even Lin Mo Yu felt a little freaked out. After much effort, Dongfang Yao mustered the courage to peek out, only to see the scene of an axe smashing a head. She immediately felt nauseous and wanted to vomit, quickly closing her eyes again. Lin Moyu ignored Dongfang Yao. This rotten corpse head was no longer usable, so he switched to another target. The flames of his soul ignited, targeting another corrosive head. The fire fell, but there was no scream, no movement, not even a reaction. These guys have no souls. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. The soul flames were ineffective. The opponent had no soul. What kind of monster is this? They couldn't be truly killed, and even exploding the corpse was useless. They had no soul, so soul flames were useless. Lin Moyu felt like he had seen a ghost. At this moment, Dongfang Yao, enduring her nausea, said weakly with a pale face, "I heard my father say that the corpses in the corpse realm cannot be killed." Lin Moyu shook his head. "There is nothing that cannot be killed, just that we haven't found the right method yet." As Lin Moyu spoke, a skeletal archmage appeared beside him. Skill: Elemental Burst. With a loud bang, the rotten corpse head was blasted into dust. Most of it was annihilated in the elemental explosion, leaving only some tiny fragments almost invisible to the naked eye. These fragments fell to the ground and disappeared. But Lin Moyu locked onto them firmly. Lin Moyu discovered that they were starting to grow again in the rain. The speed was very, very slow. Lin Moyu watched for a while and calculated in his mind. At this rate, it would take at least several years to fully recover into the shape of a head. Then, the skeletal archmage continued to attack. Elemental roars and explosions continued. Lin Moyu didn't even let go of a tiny speck of dust. In the end, not even dust could be found. However, Lin Moyu never received any kill notifications. It was impossible to confirm whether there were no kill notifications or whether they hadn't been killed at all. So far, the feeling this world gave Lin Moyu was bizarre. Then, Lin Moyu looked at the last rotten corpse head. He pointed a finger. Skill: Curse of Aging. A red light lit up, but the head didn't react at all. Lin Moyu's pupils constricted. There was no reaction at all. The curse was completely ineffective. He realized something. These corpses were not living beings. Even undead creatures like skeletons, although they had no life, still had souls. The soul was the most basic existence of a living being. But the corpses in front of him had no souls, they were real corpses. So they were not affected by curses and were not afraid of soul attacks. The reason they couldn't be killed was because they were already dead. But why could they still move and attack even though they were dead? And even recover after being blasted into dust? Lin Moyu couldn't understand. Let's go. The experiment was done, and there was no point in staying here any longer. Since there was an exit in the center, he would find a way to get there. Dongfang Yao breathed a sigh of relief, following closely behind Lin Moyu, not daring to fall behind. The two advanced in the rain hitting the bone armor, constantly making sizzling sounds. Lin Moyu replenished the bone armor for himself and Dongfang Yao. Along the way, they encountered several more corpses, all of which were directly blasted to death by the skeletal archmage. The corpses were very weak, one elemental explosion could blast them into dust. The skeletons were constantly being corroded by the acidic rain, and Lin Moyu couldn't put them away, so he could only wait until they left the rain's range. After walking for half an hour, they finally left the rainfall area. Lin Moyu casually put the skeletons away. The skeletal archmage successfully returned to the summoning space, but the skeletal berserker couldn't return. Lin Moyu stopped, feeling strange. He had clearly left the rain's range, so why couldn't the skeletal berserker be retrieved? After carefully sensing it, he discovered that the skeletal berserker was still taking damage. The damage was very weak, so small that he couldn't even sense it without careful attention. It was because of the damage that he couldn't retrieve the skeletal berserker. Lin Moyu searched carefully and finally found the source of the damage. It was the spot where the corpse head had bitten him before, a tooth mark smaller than a strand of hair. Such a small wound, such a small attack, could last so long. Counting from the time of the bite until now, it had been at least several hours, and it still existed. Lin Moyu looked at Dongfang Yao. You said before that you can't be bitten by a corpse, right? Dongfang Yao had calmed down a lot by now. Yes, my father said that if you were bitten by a corpse, you will eventually become one. Dongfang Yao's expression changed slightly as she exclaimed, You're saying your skeleton has been poisoned by the corpse poison? Is this poison, or something? Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and the Lich General appeared. A brilliant white light shone on the skeletal berserker. Skill: Dispel. Dispel Level 3 removes all abnormal statuses from Legion members. Under the Dispel skill, the wound on the skeletal berserker's bone quickly disappeared. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. Although this world was strange, it wasn't unsolvable after all. At least this injury could be healed. He tried to put away the skeletal berserker, and it went smoothly. Clearly, everything was fine now. Dongfang Yao stared wide-eyed. You dispelled the corpse poison. Lin Moyu shook his head. It wasn't me who dispelled it, it was my summon. Dongfang Yao asked anxiously, then can your summon dispel corpse poison from others? No, the summon skills are only effective on my summons. Lin Moyu's answer made Dongfang Yao reveal a burst of disappointment. Dongfang Yao sighed softly, the glimmer of hope that had just risen was shattered again. Lin Moyu walked forward again, and Dongfang Yao immediately followed, while softly saying, Lin Moyu, if one day you have the ability to cure corpse poison, can you help me save someone? Lin Moyu nodded, as long as it doesn't affect me, I can. Chapter 526. Dongfang Yao revealed a smile, thank you. Lin Moyu continued to ask, have you figured it out now? Why we came here? Since the Dongfang family has guarded the corpse realm for generations, there must be a reason for them to come here. It must be inextricably related to the Dongfang family. Dongfang Yao is very smart, she will definitely be able to guess it after she calms down. Dongfang Yao had indeed guessed, if I'm not mistaken, it should be third uncle who tampered with the teleportation array. Lin Moyu glanced at her, signaling her to continue. 0. Third uncle is called Dongfang Tuo, and he is the biological father of Dongfang Shun. He is a top professional at level 81, very strong, and has a high status in our Dongfang family with considerable power. And he has been to the corpse realm before and knows the location of the corpse realm. Listening to Dongfang Yao's words, it was indeed the case. Lin Moyu showed a hint of a cold smile, isn't he afraid that I will go back alive? Dongfang Yao shook her head, maybe he never considered that we could go back alive. The corpse realm is terrifying, even god-level powerhouses may be in danger if they fall into it. Besides, even if we are lucky enough to go back alive, I'm afraid there will be no evidence. A murderous intent surged in Lin Moyu's eyes, although there is no evidence, sometimes, evidence is not needed. I hope that when the time comes, your Dongfang family will not stand on the wrong side. Dongfang Yao felt a chill all over her body. Lin Moyu's words made her feel terrified. No one has ever dared to threaten the Dongfang family like this. Since the establishment of the Divine Xia Empire, their Dongfang family has been the royal family, the master of the empire. The royal family governs, and the divine generals command the military. The two complement each other and are independent of each other, without affecting each other. But once a divine general dies at the hands of the royal family, then things will really be big. For soldiers, divine generals are their heavens. The soldiers would think, I'm throwing my head and shedding blood on the front line to defend the country, and you're killing the divine generals in the back. The result can be imagined. Dongfang Yao covered her head. Lin Moyu, I will definitely give you an explanation after we go back. For the sake of the empire, please give me a chance first. Lin Moyu stared at Dongfang Yao for a while, and slowly nodded. Then it depends on whether this explanation can satisfy him. Lin Moyu didn't want the country to be in chaos, as it would not be good for the people or the human race. But it was impossible for him to let the chief culprit go for the sake of these things. Lin Moyu didn't consider himself to be such a selfless person. Another thunder sounded in the air, illuminating a large area. The torrential rain poured down again. The 365th chapter, the only dual-class god level. This time there was not only heavy rain, but also lightning. The purple-black lightning was eerie. The corrosive power of the heavy rain was obviously stronger, and the sour smell was even more unbearable. But the corpses seemed extremely active in the heavy rain. Lin Moyu found that he and Dongfang Yao, these two living people, seemed to have become the brightest existence in the corpse realm. Corpses would rush towards them from afar. Lin Moyu felt that it should be his living aura that attracted the attention of the corpses. Corpses have a strong desire to attack outsiders like them. Dongfang Yao knew some information about the corpse realm but not much. Along the way, she had told Lin Moyu all the information she knew. From the current point of view, Lin Moyu didn't have any clues either. He could only take one step at a time. Boom! Lightning struck down, hitting Lin Moyu accurately. The bone armor blocked the lightning, but made a soft sound. The power of the lightning was not weak, much stronger than the rain. Dongfang Yao exclaimed, "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." Lin Moyu had just experienced the 047 electric element copy, and had long been accustomed to being struck by lightning. Footsteps sounded, and a corpse was rushing towards him in the heavy rain. Boom! The sky brightened, and a bolt of lightning happened to strike the corpse. The corpse's body was fragmented and torn apart. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. How could the lightning even strike the corpse? It seemed that he was only lucky to be struck by lightning. In the next second, his eyes changed slightly, and he saw an unusual scene. Electric light emerged from the fragmented corpse, and the electric light, like a bond, pulled the limbs back and quickly reconnected them. The reassembled corpse was obviously stronger than before. With a hint of curiosity, the detection technique flew out. Low-level corpse. Level 10. It was still a low-level corpse, but the level had become 10. It was indeed much stronger than the ones encountered before. The hundreds of corpses encountered along the way were only level 5, and this was the first time encountering a level 10 one. No, it was still level 5 before being struck by lightning. It was the lightning that promoted its evolution. A bold idea suddenly popped into Lin Moyu's mind. What would happen if he didn't use bone armor and got struck by lightning? Of course, this idea only flashed through his mind. In this strange world, it was impossible to try without complete certainty. No matter how courageous or ruthless he couldn't risk his own life to joke around. The skeleton archmage appeared beside him. With a boom, the elemental explosion instantly blasted the low-level corpse that had just completed its upgraded evolution into scum. It will be important, but it will probably take a long time. Unknowingly, it had been 2 days since arriving in the corpse realm. There was no day or night here, but fortunately there was a communicator for timing. After a whole day of exploration, he finally had some understanding of the corpse realm. This world is rainy. In 2 days, he had walked about 1,000 kilometers and encountered a total of 10 heavy rains. The rain intensity varied. The greater the rain intensity, the smaller the coverage area. The smaller the rain intensity, the larger the coverage area. Among them, there were 2 torrential rains, and lightning would strike during torrential rains. Lin Moyu had been struck 5 times, and Dongfang Yao had been struck twice. In addition to striking them, it would also strike the corpses. 27. Without exception, the corpses struck by lightning evolved, their levels increased, and they became stronger. Lin Mo noticed that the lightning didn't strike the ground, each strike had a target. And he finally found the path. Because he saw level 6 and level 7 corpses. Lin Mo guessed that the closer he got to the world's center, the higher the level of corpses would be. This could be referenced from the eternal battlefield in the Abyss world. The core area of the eternal battlefield is a concentration point for high-level monsters. In the Abyss world, the closer to the world's center, the stronger the Abyss fire, and the more powerful demons it attracts. The corpse world is also likely the same. Based on this guess, Lin Mo used the corpse levels as coordinates and moved forward. Dongfang Yao felt that Lin Mo's choice was correct and stayed close behind him, without any objections. At this point, how could she dare to have any opinions? Without Lin Mo, she could just close her eyes and wait for death. Perhaps she would soon become a member of the corpse world. Dongfang Yao had been missing for 2 days, and the royal family was in chaos. In the luxurious palace, Dongfang Yi sat on the throne, his eyes filled with anger. Has it been investigated yet? Below him, on the left were members of the royal family, and on the right were imperial elders. Several of them remained silent. One of the imperial elders said, "Your Majesty, we are investigating, but the teleportation array seems to have been tampered with and is still being sorted out." Dongfang Yi said in a deep voice, 2 days have passed, and it hasn't been sorted out yet. Is Master Zhang Heyu sorting it out? The imperial elder replied, "Yes, it is Master Zhang Heyu who is sorting it out, but there are no results so far." Outside the palace, an old man walked in with a cane. His attire was that of an array master, with array symbols embroidered on his collar and cuffs. Upon seeing the old man, Dongfang Yi immediately stood up, and everyone else present followed suit. Dongfang Yi personally hurried over to greet him. "Master Zhang, how is it? Any results?" Zhang Heyu shook his head. "I'm sorry, I couldn't sort out the results. The person who tampered with it is very skilled. After the teleportation, they disrupted the array's circuits. Now, this teleportation array is a mess, and I can't unravel it. Dongfang Yi knew that setting up a teleportation array was simple, and destroying it was also simple. But wanting to sort out the array's structure, especially to find the previous teleportation direction and find clues, was extremely difficult. Is there no other way? Dongfang Yi asked. Zhang Heyu was already the strongest array master they had in the royal family, a level 89 array master, just one step away from the god level. If even he couldn't do anything, Dongfang Yi couldn't think of anyone else to turn to. Zhang Heyu said, perhaps he might have a way. Dongfang Yi asked urgently, who? Zhang Heyu said in a deep voice, Meng Anwen, the god of arrays, the #1 array master of the human race. Meng Anwen, known as the god of arrays. The master of the divine Sha Tower. A big figure on par with Bai Yiyuan. People only know the god of arrays but not his knowledge. Meng Anwen is too low-key and rarely appears in the public eye. If Zhang Heyu hadn't mentioned him, even Dongfang Yi wouldn't have remembered him. Meng Anwen is not only the #1 array master of the human race but also the #1 alchemist. That's right, he is an extremely rare dual class holder. Dual class holders are even rarer than legendary class professions, but they can still be seen occasionally. But Meng Anwen is the only dual class holder to have reached the god level. Dongfang Yi thought for a moment, I will go and invite him. Only he could personally invite Meng Anwen, others were not qualified. If it were normal times, it might be difficult to find him, but now Meng Anwen is in charge of the Divine Sha Tower and is conducting trials. He should still be able to be found. Especially since it wasn't just his daughter who was missing this time, but also Lin Mo. As far as he knew, Lin Mo and Meng Anwen had a close relationship, and Meng Anwen should take action. Dongfang Yi transformed into a stream of light and rushed towards Shajing Academy. A minute later, he arrived above Shajing Academy and saw the Divine Sha Tower in the distance. The trials were still ongoing. After 500 people finished serving as Lin Mo's whetstones, Meng Anwen still arranged normal trials for them. The rewards were even slightly better than last year, which was considered compensation for them. Dongfang Yi was anxious and flew over without much regard. God of Arrays, Dongfang Yi is visiting, please come out to meet. Dongfang Yi's voice echoed throughout the entire Shajing Academy. Shajing Academy was in an uproar. Goodness, it's Emperor Dongfang Yi. 9 inches the Emperor is here in person, is he looking for the God of Arrays? Emperor Dongfang is the #1 beauty of Divine Sha, finally we can see him in person. And the God of Arrays, I heard that the God of Arrays is also very handsome. Countless students ran out. Strangely, many female students' focus was not on the strength of Dongfang Yi and the God of Arrays, but on their looks. One by one, they ran out and saw Dongfang Yi's figure, exclaiming in surprise. Dongfang Yi indeed had excellent looks and an extraordinary temperament, otherwise, he wouldn't have had a daughter like Dongfang Yao. Dongfang Yi waited quietly after sending his message. After a full 10 seconds, a person slowly flew out of the Divine Sha Tower. Flying through the air, robes fluttering, Meng Anwen displayed the demeanor of a god-level expert. Wow, the God of Arrays is so handsome. Gentle and refined, this temperament, this figure, invincible. I feel that the God of Arrays is even more handsome than the Emperor. I want to marry the God of Arrays. Meng Anwen pointed his finger, and a barrier fell between the two, blocking all sound. Emperor Dongfang, what brings you here? 366 Dongfang family is waiting for the funeral. After setting up the array, Dongfang Yi was slightly shaken. A god-level array master is indeed extraordinary. Skills have been integrated into oneself, used effortlessly, naturally. Dongfang Yi greets the God of Arrays. Dongfang Yi didn't act like an emperor, appearing very humble. He also knew that facing a god-level existence, his identity as emperor was useless. Only the identity of a god-level expert could allow him to speak to Meng Anwen as an equal. Meng Anwen had met Dongfang Yi many years ago and didn't stand on ceremony, just tell me what's the matter, Emperor. He wouldn't visit unless there was something important, Dongfang Yi wouldn't come to his door for nothing. Dongfang Yi told him about his daughter and Lin Mo's matter. Meng Anwen's face changed slightly, missing. 28. Dongfang Yi nodded, indeed, they are missing, but the teleportation array has been tampered with, and we cannot sort it out clearly. Please lead the way, Your Majesty. Meng Anwen didn't hesitate. Since it concerned Lin Mo, he naturally wouldn't refuse. The two transformed into streaks of light and flew towards the palace, instantly landing in front of the teleportation array inside the palace. Meng Anwen stepped into the teleportation array, pressed down with one hand, and closed his eyes to sense. After a moment, Meng Anwen said, "It has indeed been tampered with. The person who tampered with it is quite skilled, completely messing up the array lines." Dongfang Yi hurriedly asked, "Can it be sorted out?" Meng Anwen chuckled, "Not difficult." His fingers tapped continuously, and array runes flew into the teleportation array. The teleportation array continuously emitted booming sounds, shaking non-stop. Dongfang Yi watched from the side without saying a word. Skills are specialized, and he didn't understand what Meng Anwen was doing. In just a few minutes, the teleportation array suddenly emitted a brilliant light, buzzing. Meng Anwen said in a low voice, "It's done." Dongfang Yi was overjoyed, and Shen, "Have you found out where my daughter and Divine General Lin have gone?" Meng Anwen said in a low voice, "The last teleportation." Then his expression changed, "It's the corpse realm that your Dongfang family has guarded for generations." What? Dongfang Yi was shocked. How could they have gone there? Impossible, after the corpse realm was sealed, the only passage isn't here. How could it be teleported from here? Dongfang Yi was a little flustered. As the lord of the kingdom, a god-level powerhouse in the Dongfang family, he knew the corpse realm very well. The corpse realm has been sealed, and it is almost impossible to teleport there. This is not in line with common sense. Meng Anwen was still sensing the teleportation array. Gradually, a sneer appeared on his face. Good methods, using a seal-breaking firestone to briefly break the seal, and also performing a random teleportation. Dongfang Yi was stunned. The seal-breaking firestone was not a human item, but an item of the Abyss Demon. An item condensed from the fire of the Abyss can break most of the seal enchantments. Even the seal that sealed the corpse realm can be broken for a moment with the seal-breaking firestone. In this instant, the teleportation array was used to throw Lin Mo and Dongfang Yao into the corpse realm. Hearing this news, Dongfang Yi was not well. The seal-breaking firestone came from the Abyss Demon, indicating that the person who tampered with it was related to the Abyss Demon. His first reaction was to think of the Demon Worship Society. There are members of the Demon Worship Society in their Dongfang family. The Demon Worship Society has infiltrated their Dongfang family. Originally, the infiltration of the Demon Worship Society into the council was enough to surprise him. Some time ago, I heard that a similar thing happened in the No. 9 Fortress of the military. Unexpectedly, the Demon Worship Society has now infiltrated their Dongfang family. This matter is too big, so big that he can't believe it. And Shen, can you find out who it is? Dongfang Yi didn't hesitate. Now finding Dongfang Yao is secondary, the matter of the Demon Worship Society is too big. As the Lord of the Kingdom, he is clear about the priorities. Meng Anwen didn't think so. This is not urgent, he can't run away. You first tell me how to go to the corpse realm. I want to bring Mo Yu back. Meng Anwen had a sneer on his face at this time, and his eyes were full of murderous intent. What happens to your Dongfang family is none of his business. Lin Mo's matter is what he cares about. The corpse realm is not a good place. This is a terrifying world left over from the ancient war. Lin Mo is trapped in it, there must be danger. Dongfang Yi smiled wryly. There's no way, you can't bring them back. Say that again. Meng Anwen's voice completely cooled down. The aura of a god-level powerhouse continued to rise, and the temperature of the entire palace plummeted. Meng Anwen hasn't done anything for decades, no one knows how terrifying his true strength is. Dongfang Yi said repeatedly, "It's true, my daughter is also trapped in the corpse realm. I'm also very anxious. But the corpse realm really has no way. Alas, please come with me, and Shen, you will know when you see it." Dongfang Yi walked into the teleportation array and quickly made several hand seals. The two quickly teleported to a place. A huge underground space. The circular space is at least 500 meters high and more than 10 kilometers in diameter. A magnificent array is arranged here. The array is running slowly, buzzing. A large amount of elemental energy is drawn from the ground and injected into the array, maintaining the operation and consumption of the array. Meng Anwen frowned. God-level array. Dongfang Yi said, "It's a god-level array left by the ancestors." Meng Anwen didn't ask any more questions, and directly stepped into the array and made a rune, "Array Spirit, come out." All god-level arrays have array spirits. Array spirits have wisdom, and the higher the level of the array, the longer the array is arranged, the higher the wisdom of the array spirit. The array in front of him has been arranged for an unknown number of years, and the array spirit inside must have considerable wisdom. In the array, a huge light group emerged. Respected God-level array master, welcome to your arrival. I am the array spirit of the demon sealing array. Sure enough, it can communicate, and its wisdom is indeed not weak. Meng Anwen asked, your role? Array spirit. Responsible for guarding the corpse realm, seal, issuing warnings. Cooperating with human powerhouses to block the invasion of corpses. The array spirit will not lie, although it has wisdom, it is very simple. It can only carry out simple communication and will not actively think. Meng Anwen continued to ask, I want to enter the corpse realm. Array spirit. No, the corpse body opens once every 100 years, and it is closed and cannot be entered during this period. Meng Anwen frowned, what if I must go in? Array spirit. The array will self-destruct, and all energy will strengthen the seal. Below the half-step transcendent God, you cannot force your way in. Meng Anwen did not doubt the words of the array spirit. He could sense the terrifying energy accumulated in the array. This is the energy that even his God-level powerhouse is shocked by, and it has been accumulated for many years. Once all of it is used to strengthen the seal, at least in the next few decades, the seal of the corpse realm will be impregnable. This can be regarded as the last time to fight for the human race. Meng Anwen continued to ask, how long is it until the next channel opens? Array spirit. There are still 3 years, 12 days, 3 hours, 21 minutes and 55 seconds. There are still more than 3 years, even daylilies would be cold. Meng Anwen pondered for a moment and continued to ask, if someone accidentally enters the corpse realm, how can they return? The array spirit said, in the center of the corpse realm there is an exit. If it is a human race, they can return through exit 567. Meng Anwen said in a deep voice, okay, if someone returns from the exit, notify me. Saying that, he flew out a trace of spiritual imprint and landed on the array spirit. The array spirit buzzed, follow your instructions, respected God-level array master. Meng Anwen left the array, and the array spirit also disappeared. The next second, Meng Anwen's killing intent rose, now we can deal with the matter of your family's traitors. 29. A Eastern Kingdom Lord, if Xiaoyu returns this time, everything will be fine, and you can remain your royal family lord. If something happens to Xiaoyu, the divine summer tower will come in person. The fist of the white god, the great blade of the mad god, and the battle formations of the army, I don't think you would want to see any of them. Dongfang Yi's expression changed drastically, these words were very serious. It was almost a direct statement that if Lin Moyu died, the entire Dongfang family would be buried with him. Dongfang Yi wanted to say something, opened his mouth, but couldn't say anything. He never thought that things would be so serious. Meng Anwen didn't notice his emotions and said to himself, Xiaoyu is a disciple of mine, the white god, and the mad god. Xiaoyu's own elder sister is that person's disciple, the only disciple. The two siblings have a very good relationship, they can even give way to the origin rune. Xiaoyu is a divine general, the youngest divine general of the human race. So, you should pray for your own good. Meng Anwen's words seemed to be a soliloquy, but in reality, they were also spoken for Dongfang Yi's benefit. To make Dongfang Yi understand that things were far more serious than he thought. As he spoke, a faint, almost invisible thin line appeared in Meng Anwen's hand. The thin line was composed of energy, piercing through space and extending into the distance. Follow this line, bring the person here, interrogate them carefully, and don't let him die before Xiaoyu's matter is confirmed. Chapter 367. Falling into the corpse realm may not necessarily be a bad thing. If one were to say who among the human race has the most thorough research on the abyss demons, it would be the military. The military has been fighting against the abyss demons for many years, how could they fight without understanding them clearly? Not only do they understand the demons, but they also understand the various props in the abyss extremely well. The various props made by the abyss demons are mostly in the shape of stones, and the seal-breaking firestone is one of them. The seal-breaking firestone, made using the fire of the abyss, can break seals, barriers, and formations. So, when the power of the seal-breaking firestone was sensed, the nature of the matter changed. The human race and the abyss demons are mortal enemies. Once a relationship with demons occurs, it is a crime of betraying the race, an unforgivable crime. Using the seal-breaking firestone will leave behind a faint aura of the abyss. This aura will exist for a long time. At the same time, tampering with the formation will also leave traces, and it will not be able to hide from a divine-level formation master like Meng Anwen. Following the guidance given by Meng Anwen, Dongfang Yi arrived at Dongfang Tuo's room. Dongfang Tuo had long since disappeared, and even Dongfang Shun was gone. What was left was just a puppet double with the exact same aura as Dongfang Tuo. He used this puppet double to cover up his tracks and conceal the aura of the abyss. He escaped. Dongfang Yi's expression was very ugly. With Dongfang Tuo's departure, the whole matter was confirmed. For the Dongfang family, it was a great humiliation. A human traitor colluding with the abyss appeared in the royal family, which was a complete scandal. Meng Anwen said with a sneer, "I will issue a wanted order on the military side, you can handle the empire's side yourself. If something happens to Xiao Yu, you should pray for your own good." Meng Anwen left, but the killing intent still lingered for a long time. Although Meng Anwen was not Lin Moyu's teacher, his actions were no different from a teacher. In Meng Anwen's eyes, Lin Moyu was his disciple. In Lin Moyu's eyes, he had long regarded Meng Anwen as a teacher. Dongfang Yi's face was pale, but now he couldn't do anything but pray that Lin Moyu would be safe. One order after another was issued from the palace, spreading throughout the country. Dongfang Tuo was wanted for the crime of betraying the race. Not long after Meng Anwen returned to the Divine Summer Tower, a terrifying killing intent burst out from the Divine Summer Tower. The sky over Summer capital city instantly turned black, and day and night were inverted. The killing intent was like dark clouds covering the sky above the palace, and immense pressure swept down, alarming almost all the royal family members. Everyone in the palace felt as if a knife was hanging over their heads, ready to fall at any time. A large number of houses in the palace creaked and collapsed one after another. Dongfang Li was awakened from the secret realm and rushed out of the secret realm, staring at the sky in horror. He was also a divine-level powerhouse, level 92. With just one glance, he could tell that the other party was much stronger than him. Immediately afterward, another divine-level powerhouse from the royal family arrived, Dongfang Zan. Like Dongfang Li, he was also level 92. Dongfang Li said in a deep voice, such a strong killing intent, this is probably level 95. Dongfang Zan's expression was solemn, this is the killing aura of the Mad God. When did we offend the Mad God? Dongfang Yi also rushed over, his expression extremely grave, this is the Mad God's warning to us. At this time, all three divine-level powerhouses in the royal family were present. Dongfang Yi sighed and explained Dongfang Tuo's actions. Their expressions became very ugly. Dongfang Zan said in a deep voice, find Dongfang Tuo, alive or dead. Dongfang Li also said, thoroughly investigate the family to see if there are any others hiding within. With the divine-level powerhouses speaking, the Dongfang family acted immediately. Dongfang Yi knew that no matter what he did now, it ultimately depended on whether Lin Moyu could return safely. Otherwise, let alone Meng Anwen, even Yan Guangsheng would give them a hard time. Trouble, really big. In the corpse realm, Lin Moyu had already found the right direction. The levels of the corpses encountered along the way were gradually increasing, and their speed was also accelerating. Now he had encountered level 10 corpses. He had also encountered rainstorms and lightning. After being struck by lightning, level 10 corpses could evolve into level 15 corpses. In the rainstorm, Lin Moyu subsequently cleared out a level 15 corpse that had just been struck by lightning. Dongfang Yao followed closely behind Lin Moyu, not daring to leave half a step. 3 days had passed, and Dongfang Yao had completely calmed down. Gradually, she was also infected by Lin Moyu's emotions and had a state of mind of accepting whatever comes. At this time, Lin Moyu also learned about Dongfang Yao's profession. Holy Shield Warrior. A very rare profession, and also a profession unique to the royal family, with bloodline inheritance. There are many professional families with bloodline inheritance, such as the Ni family with the Legion Overlord professional bloodline, the Mo family with the Summoner bloodline, and the Ning family with the Mage bloodline. Among them, there are also some extremely special bloodline families, such as the Feng family with the Divine Swordsman bloodline, and the Dongfang family's Holy Shield Warrior. This bloodline has the ability to promote professions. At first glance, the Holy Shield Warrior is just a rare level profession. During the second job change, there is an almost 100% chance of directly advancing to a legendary level profession. It's not professional sublimation, but the promotion ability brought by the bloodline. It's more like the power of the bloodline being activated. If professional sublimation occurs again, one can leap over the Dragon Gate and directly become a mid-level legendary professional. When talking about her bloodline, Dongfang Yao couldn't help but reveal a trace of pride. Besides our Dongfang family, you won't find any Holy Shield Warriors. Our Holy Shield Warriors possess some of the skills of both knights and warriors. Our defense is not much worse than that of knights, and our attack power is comparable to that of berserkers. Her implied meaning was that the Holy Shield Warrior was a very strong profession. However, she suddenly stopped talking halfway through. She suddenly realized that the person standing in front of her was a profession that was powerful to the point of being terrifying. 30. He still needed her protection to survive in the corpse world. His Holy Shield Warrior seemed somewhat insignificant. Lin Moyu didn't say anything, he never looked down on any profession. Especially now, after mastering most professions, Lin Moyu believed that there were no useless professions, only useless practitioners. Even a lifestyle profession had its advantages. As long as the level could be raised, it wouldn't be bad. After walking for a while, a rainstorm cluster appeared in sight again. The sour and rotten smell permeated the air. Flashes of lightning illuminated the dark earth, accurately striking the corpses. Those corpses lucky enough to be struck by lightning were promoted. Lin Moyu suddenly said, disastrous, I want to try being struck by lightning. Boom, the thunder sounded, conveniently covering Lin Moyu's words. Dongfang Yao exclaimed, what did you say? Lin Moyu said softly, it's nothing, you wait for me here, don't move. Saying that, he released 2 skeleton archmages to protect Dongfang Yao, and he himself walked into the rainstorm cluster. Dongfang Yao looked at Lin Moyu, not knowing what he was going to do. Boom, another lightning bolt struck down, heading towards Lin Moyu. Along the way, they had been struck by lightning many times, and with the bone armor, they hadn't suffered any damage. But this time, at the moment the lightning arrived, Lin Moyu removed the bone armor, allowing the lightning to strike his body. Along with the lightning came the rain with strong corrosive properties. Dongfang Yao screamed, she couldn't believe what she was seeing as Lin Moyu was struck by lightning. The next second, white light reappeared on Lin Moyu's body, and the bone armor appeared again, which relieved Dongfang Yao. The lightning struck, the current traveled through his body, making him feel slightly numb and also slightly warm. All the damage was shared by the skeletons, and he wasn't injured. But this slight heat remained in his body. Gained Genesis Lightning, experience +10000. Seeing the information, Lin Moyu's face showed some damage surprise, followed by a sudden realization. Lin Moyu knew why the struck corpses evolved, because they also gained experience. So their levels increased, and he himself could also gain experience when struck by lightning. But only 100,000 experience, it was really too little. According to the experience gained in the past few days, in a rainstorm cluster, lightning would only strike the same target once. It had never struck a second time. Lin Moyu told Dongfang Yao about his discovery, and Dongfang Yao also showed a hint of surprise. She had never heard of such a thing. But she couldn't take lightning strikes like Lin Moyu. Without damage transfer, just those raindrops would be enough to cause fatal damage to her. The two continued to move forward, and in the following days, whenever they encountered rain and thunder, Lin Moyu would take the initiative to be struck by lightning. Not for the experience, Lin Moyu didn't care about that little experience. Each time after being struck by lightning, a trace of heat would always be preserved. This heat was called Genesis Lightning. His sixth sense told him that Genesis Lightning was unusual, and if accumulated to a certain amount, it might have some wonderful effects. In this way, falling into the corpse world wasn't all bad. Chapter 368. If little Yu has an accident, I will slaughter the Dongfang family. Lin Moyu thought of what Meng Anwen had told him. Opportunities often coexist with dangers. Sometimes the more dangerous the place, the more hidden the great opportunities. And behind great opportunities, there is hidden death. Lin Moyu kept this sentence firmly in mind, and now it seemed to be true. Corpse World, a place that Dongfang Yao described as extremely dangerous, where even god-level experts could die. There would actually be magical things like Genesis lightning. Lin Moyu looked for lightning to strike himself all the way, and in a few days, he had been struck at least 100 times. The warm current in his body was getting stronger and stronger, and Lin Moyu was getting happier and happier. It had been 7 days since they entered the corpse world and they had walked more than 3,000 kilometers in 7 days. The direction Lin Moyu chose should be correct, the level of the corpses was getting higher and higher, and now the corpses they encountered had exceeded level 20. After being struck by lightning, level 20 corpses could evolve to level 24, and the progress was slowing down. This was because the experience added by Genesis lightning hadn't changed, and the higher the level, the more experience required to upgrade. Naturally, upgrading would be slower. Have you noticed a pattern? Lin Moyu asked. Dongfang Yao looked at him with a slightly puzzled expression. What pattern? Lin Moyu said, I previously discovered that the corpses that upgraded after being struck by lightning left their original areas. So I guess that corpses of different levels have their own activity areas. Dongfang Yao's eyes lit up slightly. If we look at the pattern that the closer to the center, the higher the level of the corpse, then as long as we follow the direction the corpses are moving, we can reach the center point. Dongfang Yao wasn't stupid, and after being reminded by Lin Moyu, she immediately understood. Lin Moyu nodded. That's right, so I have been adjusting the direction of travel these past few days, and I shouldn't have gone wrong. Only then did Dongfang Yao notice that Lin Moyu had indeed subtly adjusted the direction of travel several times these past few days. It turned out that he was following the route of the corpses. As if thinking of something, her pretty face suddenly turned slightly red, and she blurted out, I thought. Thought what? Lin Moyu looked at her strangely, not knowing what this princess was thinking. Dongfang Yao whispered, I thought that you were adjusting the direction these past few days to find rainstorms and get struck by lightning. The corners of Lin Moyu's mouth twitched a few times. Women's minds were a bit strange. That's also one aspect, but the most important thing is to find the road to the center. Lin Moyu was still thinking about going back. The ancestral land of Genesis Academy was about to open, and it couldn't be missed. This was related to whether he could have a professional sublimation during his third job change. Because his attributes increased too much during the second job change, the effect of professional sublimation didn't seem to be reflected. In fact, Lin Moyu knew very well that if it hadn't been for professional sublimation, his attributes couldn't have been so explosive. The same was true for the third job change, completing 2 professional sublimations and pushing his attributes to the limit. At this time, the outside world had become a mess. Several major events occurred in the Divine Sha Empire. The military and the empire simultaneously issued arrest warrants for former royal family members, Dongfang Tuo and Dongfang Shun. The two hid like rats and disappeared without a trace. Dongfang Yi gave an order, declaring the two guilty of treason, betraying the human race, and could be directly killed upon meeting. The Divine Sha Tower trial finally ended 3 days ago, and then Bai Yiyuan and Yan Guangsheng jointly arrived at Fortress No. 9. It is said that on that day, the murderous aura in Fortress No. 9 was overwhelming. Several people were killed on the spot. The third thing, the whole country once again launched a sweep against the Demon Worship Society. This operation will last for a long time, and I don't know how many people will be killed. 31. However, to the human race, anyone associated with the Abyss Demons deserves to die. After leaving Fortress No. 9, Bai Yiyuan did not return to the White God's courtyard but re-entered the Hall of Heroes in Fortress No. 1. He was inside, monitoring Lin Moi's soul imprint. Yan Guangsheng returned to the Divine Sha Tower. Since his return, a terrifying murderous aura has loomed over the palace like dark clouds. People in Shajing City could see that the palace was constantly covered by a layer of dark clouds. The atmosphere was extremely oppressive, and all the royal family members dared to be angry but dared not speak out. Who told them that the owner of the murderous aura was Yan Guangsheng? Might makes right. On the 15th day after Lin Moyu disappeared, a person came to the outside of the palace. She was tall and graceful, with a near-perfect appearance, a pair of long, straight legs, and exuded amazing charm. Her arrival attracted the attention of countless people. She took light steps and came to the royal teleportation array outside the palace. Who are you? A guard team watching over the teleportation array immediately stopped her. With a charming laugh, she produced 2 exquisite swords in her hand. With a few quick slashes, her posture was as graceful as a dance. This guard team of 6, with an average level of over 55, was collectively seriously injured. Then, with a few more slashes, she directly destroyed the teleportation array outside the palace. A sharp alarm had already sounded in the palace, and the strong individuals in the palace rose into the air one after another, rushing towards here. Bold, how dare you destroy the royal teleportation array? Do you know what crime you have committed? CIDB these days, the royal family has had enough troubles. With dark clouds overhead, even breathing feels oppressive. Unexpectedly, someone dared to come knocking on their door. And it's a woman who is unbelievably beautiful. Lin Mohan held dual swords and slowly rose into the air, standing gracefully in midair. A crisp voice resounded throughout the entire palace. From today onwards, no member of the royal family is allowed to leave the palace. Those who leave will be killed without mercy. The voice was pleasant to hear, but the words were filled with killing intent. What audacity! You must be tired of living. Several top-tier professional royal family members sneered and attacked Lin Mohan simultaneously. Lin Mohan gently twisted her graceful figure, and sword energy transformed into dragons, blasting several top-tier professionals back on the spot, seriously injuring them. Being both top-tier professionals, the difference in strength was obvious. Lin Mohan acted as if she had done something insignificant, and her voice gradually turned cold. If anything happens to Xiao Yu, I will slaughter your Dongfang family. Inside the palace, in the main hall, the lord of the nation, Dongfang Yi, the god-level powerhouse Dongfang Zan, and some elders of the family gathered together. They were originally about to take action, but Dongfang Yi stopped them. It's infuriating, too infuriating, we've been bullied at our doorstep. Lord, why won't you let us take action? They kept clamoring. Dongfang Zan said coldly, when has my Dongfang family ever suffered such humiliation? Lord, what's your reason for stopping us? Dongfang Yi sighed. Her name is Lin Mohan, she is Lin Moyu's older sister. These days, their Dongfang family's anger has all been because of Lin Moyu. But those trapped in the corpse realm are not only Lin Moyu alone, but also their princess. The royal family members had long been fed up with the anger, and several people couldn't hold back their anger and shouted loudly, even if we were wrong about General Lin, her openly attacking us like this, where is the dignity of my Dongfang family? I think she's only level 70, I'll go over and send her away, at most I won't hurt her. Dongfang Yi shook his head, it's not that simple, Lin Mohan is that person's disciple, the only disciple. That person, everyone gasped. The only person in the entire human race who could be referred to as that person, by Dongfang Yi was only one person. The younger brother himself is a divine general, and also a disciple of the 3 top-tier grand gods, White God, Mad God, and An God. The older sister is even more monstrous. She reached level 70 at such a young age, and her combat power is terrifyingly strong. She was even accepted as a disciple by that person. Everyone cursed in their hearts. Who did they have to provoke? They had to provoke these 2 freaks. Take action. Who would dare to take action now? If Lin Mohan were to lose a single hair, it is estimated that that person would directly take action and destroy the Dongfang family. That person is known to be very protective of their own. Swallow the anger. Bite the bullet. Now they can only pray that nothing happens to Lin Moyu. Otherwise, the Dongfang family is really finished. The Divine Xia Empire can change its royal family. Lin Moyu and Dongfang Yao were facing a huge rainstorm cloud with a diameter of over 10 kilometers. The area previously covered by the rainstorm was fixed and unchanging. The rainstorm cloud was slowly moving, bringing torrential rain and terrifying lightning strikes. The environment had changed. Roaring sounds constantly came from the rainstorm cloud, with lightning striking one after another. One could vaguely see that many corpses were standing in the rain, and some of the corpses had strange shapes. Lin Moyu realized that he had stepped into a completely different area. Suddenly, everything went black, and Dongfang Yao exclaimed, "Be careful." A black shadow slammed into Lin Moyu. The bone armor burst out with white light, bouncing the black shadow back. The black shadow rolled on the ground, and then flew over again, its speed far exceeding that of the corpses. Abyss Demon Dog. Chapter 369, Crisis and Opportunity Coexist, Staff of Genesis. Unexpectedly, in the corpse realm one could still see Abyss Demon Dogs. However, like the other corpses, the Abyss Demon Dog in front of him was also a corpse. Its entire body was festering, seemingly alive and dead at the same time. At the moment of seeing the Abyss Demon Dog, Lin Moyu understood one thing. The Abyss Demons also participated in the great battle that created the Corpse Realm. Could it be that the dragon race also participated? Lin Moyu thought to himself. At the same time, he cast Detection. Rotten Demon Dog. Level 40. Looking at the information transmitted back, Lin Moyu understood that he had really entered another area. His path was indeed correct. In the distance, there was another corpse moving. It discovered Lin Moyu and quickly ran over. 32. It was faster than any zombie he had ever seen. It should be level 40 as well, an intermediate zombie. The information returned by the detection spell was exactly as he had expected. It was indeed an intermediate zombie, reaching level 40. Not only had the environment changed, but even the zombies within had changed. It was as if there was an invisible line separating the two areas. Behind him was the low-level area, and in front of him was the intermediate area. In the distance, Lin Moyu even saw zombies running from the low-level area. After running into the intermediate area, they began to move slowly again. Before discovering a target to attack, the zombies' movement speed was not fast. The skeleton archmage appeared beside him, starting with an elemental explosion, directly blasting the rotten demon hounds and intermediate zombies to pieces. Even at level 40, they still couldn't withstand the skeleton archmage's attack. However, after entering this area, Lin Moyu became slightly more serious. At least he released a few skeleton archmages to his side, as a sign of respect to the zombies. Dongfang Yao was now following Lin Moyu even more closely. In Lin Moyu's eyes, these level 40 zombie demon hounds were nothing. But in her eyes, these things were terrifying. If just 2 or 3 came at her, she would be dead for sure. The key was not to get bitten by them, otherwise she would turn into a zombie herself. Dongfang Yao knew what would happen if she got bitten. She was practically glued to Lin Moyu, not leaving his side. Looking at the rainstorm cloud up close. "You wait here." Leaving a sentence, Lin Moyu strode into it. Dongfang Yao had gotten used to it over the past few days. Lin Moyu would always go in to get struck by lightning himself, leaving her outside. This time, Lin Moyu left 2 skeleton archmages to protect her. After all, they were in the intermediate area, so caution was necessary. As soon as he entered the range of the rainstorm cloud, Lin Moyu immediately felt the difference. The rain was much stronger than in the low-level area, with a nauseating sour smell and greater corrosiveness. At the same time, it was accompanied by gusts of wind, whistling loudly. This was not a rainstorm cloud, but a real storm, a lightning storm. The one in the low-level area could only be called a rainstorm cloud, without wind. But the one in the intermediate area carried strong winds, and like the rainstorm, possessed powerful corrosive force. Combined with lightning and thunder, it was exactly like a storm. Through the bone armor, Lin Moyu could clearly determine it. Overall, the storm damage in the intermediate area was about 10 times higher than in the low-level area. Lightning rumbled. Lin Moyu waited in the storm for half a minute, finally welcoming the first lightning bolt. This lightning bolt was thicker than the ones in the low-level area, with traces of black lines, looking somewhat strange. At the moment the lightning struck him, Lin Moyu removed the bone armor, taking the lightning himself. The damage transfer skill was triggered, and the comprehensive connection talent was activated. All the damage Lin Moyu suffered was shared by all his summons. Gained Genesis Lightning, experience plus 1000000. At the same time as the prompt, a warm current more than 10 times larger than before entered his body. In an instant, it merged with the warm current accumulated in his body. The warm current grew stronger in an instant, reaching its limit, and then suddenly transformed. Electric light emerged from his whole body, crackling. Lin Moyu had long felt that the Genesis Lightning he had obtained was about to reach its limit, and something should happen. Unexpectedly, after withstanding hundreds of lightning strikes, he finally reached the intermediate area and absorbed even more powerful Genesis Lightning. This caused a real transformation. Lightning constantly radiated from his body, and Lin Moyu realized that one of his attributes was changing. Originally, after absorbing the lightning crystal, he already had 50% immunity to electric element damage. Now this characteristic had become 60%. 60% immunity to electric elements. Plus his 5x elemental damage reduction. Assuming 10,000 electric element attack damage, it would ultimately only cause 800 points of damage to him. The damage was reduced by a full 12 times. And these 800 points of damage would still be divided among all the summons. This was just a slight change in attributes, the greater change was still continuing. A small scepter appeared in Lin Moi's palm. The scepter was only the size of a palm, purely made of electric elements. At the top of the scepter, there was a lightning symbol, like a delicate gemstone embedded in it. Genesis scepter damaged, can be repaired by absorbing Genesis lightning. It looked like a weapon, but it had no attributes, no extra introduction. Lin Moi guessed it was because it was damaged, so it had no attributes. Absorb Genesis lightning, Lin Moi thought for a moment, looking at the dense thunderclouds in the sky. Lightning wings activated, wings suddenly unfolded on his back, Lin Moi transformed into lightning and rushed into the thunderclouds. Dongfang Yao outside the storm in the distance was stunned, muttering, "How can he fly? These lightning-like wings look so powerful." Lin Moi drilled into the thunderclouds, immediately attracting the attention of the lightning. A large amount of lightning struck, trying to expel this uninvited guest. Lin Moi held the Genesis scepter, wanting to absorb the lightning. But the bone armor shone brightly, rejecting all lightning, the Genesis scepter couldn't absorb even a hair. Lin Moi frowned, his heart hardened, and he suddenly removed the bone armor. In an instant, dozens or hundreds of lightning bolts struck him. Gained Genesis lightning, experience plus 1000000. Gained Genesis lightning, experience plus 1000000. Seeking flowers. Gained Genesis lightning, experience plus 1000000. Prompts popped up like crazy. Experience was rising rapidly. A warm current appeared in his body again, and the warm current grew rapidly as soon as it appeared. The speed was dozens or hundreds of times faster than before. When the warm current reached its limit, it turned into lightning and flowed into the Genesis scepter. The Genesis scepter emitted a faint light, seeming a little brighter. Lin Moi understood, this was to use himself as a medium to absorb enough Genesis lightning, and then pass it on to the Genesis scepter. The Genesis scepter only wanted not lightning, but some special substances in the lightning. After figuring it out, Lin Moi knew that he was probably the only one who could do it. If it were someone like Dongfang Yao, one lightning strike would probably turn her to ashes. Only he could share the damage with a large number of summons, and he himself had extremely strong immunity to electric elements. Only then could he absorb and condense the special substances in a large amount of lightning, and finally pass them on to the Genesis scepter. 33. As more lightning was absorbed, the Genesis scepter was becoming brighter. 0. And the lightning's offensive was gradually decreasing. A minute later, lightning wings went into cooldown, and Lin Moyu also fell from the sky. At this time, the lightning in the storm group almost disappeared, leaving only heavy rain and strong wind. The Genesis scepter in his hand was much brighter than before, but it was still in a damaged state. However, his experience increased by a full 5%. After level 40, experience increases became very slow. He farmed the wind element and lightning element dungeons nearly 20 times in total. But his experience only increased by 20%. On average, each dungeon only increased his experience by 1%. But now, after absorbing a large amount of Genesis lightning, his experience directly increased by 10%. It only took a minute, but it was equivalent to 5 dungeons. At the same time, Lin Moyu discovered that his lightning immunity attribute had also increased. It increased from 60% to 61%. The biggest increase was during the time he condensed the Genesis scepter, which directly increased it by 10%. Now, after absorbing an even larger amount of Genesis lightning, it only increased by 1%. The strangeness of the world, Lin Moyu couldn't fully understand. Danger really does go hand in hand with opportunity. Perhaps this trip to the corpse realm is a rare opportunity for him. Be careful, Dongfang Yao's urgent cry came from his ear. Then, everything blurred before his eyes, and Dongfang Yao had already rushed to his side. She held a shield, which shimmered with light, blocking in front of him. 3 rotten demon hounds crashed over. Dongfang Yao's skill didn't work, and the bone armor became the first layer of defense. With several bangs, the rotten demon hounds were knocked away. The intermediate rotten corpse followed behind the rotten demon hounds and pounced over, also being blocked by the bone armor. The intermediate rotten corpse bit down relentlessly, biting on the bone armor, making cracking sounds. Dongfang Yao's face was filled with fear, but she didn't retreat a step. At this time, Lin Moyu didn't have the protection of the bone armor. Dongfang Yao saw Lin Moyu remove the bone armor in a flash. Her actions surprised Lin Mo Yu slightly. When did she become so brave? Chapter 370. Level 60 Area, Land of Bone Dissolution. If it weren't for the bone armor protecting her, relying solely on Dongfang Yao's own skills. Although she could block them, she would definitely be injured. Either scratched or bitten. Getting injured here. Presumably, she also knows the consequences. Seeing her appearance, Lin Mo Yu knew that she probably hadn't thought so much. Actually, Lin Mo Yu didn't know what it would be like if he were bitten. Thinking about it, it should be fine. The Lich General can remove this negative status. And his passive skill is immune to all negative statuses. So Lin Mo Yu judged that even if he were bitten, he would be fine. The corpse poison simply couldn't affect him. As for the damage, it could be ignored even more. He pressed his palm down, replenishing bone armor for himself and Dongfang Yao. At the same time, the skeleton mage appeared beside him. Rumbling sounds, elemental explosions. The intermediate rotten corpse and rotten demon hounds were all blown to pieces. Dongfang Yao finally recovered, panting heavily. Lin Mo Yu said softly, "It's okay, don't pant so heavily, there's still a lot of debris in the air." These words scared Dongfang Yao into quickly covering her mouth. Lin Mo Yu chuckled and continued to walk forward. Some things don't need to be said, just remember them. Wearing the bone armor, they traversed the storm. The skeleton mage followed closely, clearing all the monsters along the way. Dongfang Yao quickly followed, asking in a low voice, "How could you fly just now?" Lin Mo Yu chuckled, "You should know about elemental gems, right?" Dongfang Yao only thought for a moment and immediately nodded, "I know." With Dongfang Yao's family background, she knew a lot of information. Even if she hadn't seen them, she would have seen them in books. The rich family inheritance is good in this aspect. Lin Mo Yu said, "I obtained the lightning gem and awakened the skill, lightning wings, which gave me the ability to fly briefly." Dongfang Yao's eyes showed a hint of envy. "Your luck is really good, the probability of elemental gems awakening skills is very low, probably less than 1 in 1,000. Lin Mo Yu was stunned for a moment. Is it that low? Why doesn't he feel that way? Poison gem, light gem, lightning gem. 3 gems have already awakened skills. Could it be that he's really lucky? It seems that this is the only explanation. Dongfang Yao asked again, "Why did you rush into the thundercloud just now?" Lin Mo Yu said, "Absorbing Genesis lightning can increase lightning immunity and also increase experience. But isn't it dangerous to do so?" Dongfang Yao was taken aback at the time, thinking that Lin Mo Yu was thinking of doing something drastic. That lightning was quite terrifying. Dongfang Yao could clearly feel the power within it. If she were struck by it, she would probably be half dead. But Lin Mo Yu endured countless strikes like that and was unscathed. Lin Mo Yu smiled and shook his head, "It's not dangerous, I have a sense of proportion." As they advanced, the monsters along the way were gradually becoming stronger, and their levels were also increasing. But for Lin Mo Yu, it was still like a leisurely stroll. The skeleton mage used a few skills, and the monsters were blown to pieces, unable to even get close. Dongfang Yao even felt that the corpse realm didn't seem as dangerous as the family had said. She even had the illusion of sightseeing. It's just that the scenery here is really not very good. Lin Mo Yu constantly changed directions, searching for storms. He needed Genesis lightning, a large amount of Genesis lightning. To gain experience, increase lightning immunity, and repair the Genesis scepter. Currently, it seems that this is the biggest opportunity in the corpse realm. 34. In the blink of an eye, Lin Mo and Dongfang Yao had been in corpse realm for a month. For more than 30 days, they meandered and traveled more than 20,000 kilometers. Lin Mo found a large number of storms and absorbed tens of thousands of creation lightning bolts. Unknowingly, he completed his first upgrade after changing jobs, reaching level 41. All 4-dimensional attributes have greatly increased. Strength, 48,690. Agility, 48,690. Spirit, 112,810. Constitution, 48,690. Compared to level 40, the spirit attribute increased by 6,300, and the other 3-dimensional attributes each increased by 840, a total increase of about 8,800. The total attribute is 258,880, close to 260,000. This level of improvement can be described as amazing. Even a mid-level legendary professional only has a total attribute of 60,000 at level 40, and each upgrade increases by no more than 5,000. The increase in one level differs by nearly 90%. Accumulating level by level like this, the difference in attributes will be earth-shattering at level 50, level 60, or even higher levels. If it were replaced by other professionals, the gap would be even more astonishing. After reaching level 41, Lin Mo continued to look for storm clusters and absorb creation lightning. Experience has increased to 30%. Lin Mo felt that if he continued like this, he could completely level up a few more times in the corpse realm. The more creation lightning is absorbed, the slower the increase in electrical immunity becomes. Except for the initial surge of 10%, each subsequent storm can only increase by about 1%. After reaching 70%, it takes several times to increase by 1%. Moreover, the rate of increase is still slowing down, and now the characteristic of electrical immunity has increased to 75%. The most recent 1% was only added after absorbing 10 storm clusters. After absorbing a large amount of lightning, the creation scepter is still in a damaged state. It's just brighter than before, but it's still far from fully recovered. In 1 month, the two traveled all the way, crossed the level 40 monster area, and entered the level 50 monster area. Here, Lin Mo saw rotten abyssal demons. Not demon dogs, but real abyssal demons. Then he also encountered the Dragon Clan, and the Dragon Clan warriors were also corrupted and stayed here forever. Lin Mo confirmed that the great battle that year broke out between the three races. This battle must have been extremely fierce, capable of collapsing a small world. The person who cast that skill in the end must also be an unparalleled evil person. Turning the entire world into such a state, turning it into a Jedi. After entering the area of level 50 monsters, Lin Mo released another 100 skeleton archmages. After testing, the elemental explosion damage effect of the skeleton archmages is the best here. The corpse monsters are relatively scattered, and with 100 skeleton archmages clearing the way, it is enough for them to pass through unimpeded. The earth ahead has changed. Sulfur-like ponds appeared on the surface. Not sulfur, just a similar color. With a strong pungent smell, even Lin Mo felt uncomfortable and unbearable. Storms still exist, and lightning is still roaring. Lin Mo thought of the core area of the ancient battlefield. It was also after entering the core area that the ground environment changed. Does this change now also mean that the monsters inside have become unusual? Lin Mo slowly said, "We are about to enter the level 60 monster area." Dongfang Yao tilted her head. "When I was a child, my father seemed to have mentioned this place to me, let me think about it." Seeing that she was trying to think, Lin Mo didn't bother her. Dongfang Yao searched her memory, but her childhood memories were a little forgotten. Dongfang Yi also told her some things about the corpse realm as a story at the time. Finally, bright light appeared in her beautiful eyes. "I remembered. This area is called bone-dissolving land, and those ponds are extremely corrosive, so don't fall into them." Lin Mo asked, "Anything else?" Dongfang Yao nodded vigorously. Yes, my father also said that there is a very terrifying monster in the ponds of bone-dissolving land that will drag people in and eat them. When I was a child, I was disobedient, so he used this to scare me. Once he scared me, I didn't dare to be disobedient." Speaking of this, Dongfang Yao's face was a little red, and she told all the embarrassing things from her childhood. Lin Mo didn't think this was a way to scare children, it was probably true. The water in the pond exuded a stench, which was a bit like rainwater 2.1 in a rainstorm. It's just more intense than rainwater, and the corrosiveness must be stronger. As for the monsters living in it, it is also very likely that they exist. The world is so big that there are all kinds of strange things. Even monsters can live in hot lava, so it is not surprising that there are monsters in this sour and stinky water. Let's be careful. For safety's sake, Lin Mo summoned 100 skeleton berserkers to clear the way in front. The skeleton archmages advanced around the two of them. As soon as the skeleton berserkers entered the bone-dissolving land, Lin Mo immediately sensed that they were being hurt. The air in the bone-dissolving land was filled with corrosive gas, like poisonous gas, constantly causing damage to the skeletons. Fortunately, the damage was not great. After they entered the bone-dissolving land, the bone armor was also naturally activated. Dongfang Yao knew that without Lin Mo, she would not be able to get here. The greatest possibility is to become a member here, becoming a walking dead. Whoosh! A pond suddenly burst into spray, and a tentacle shot out from the pond, wrapped around a skeleton berserker, and dragged the skeleton berserker into the pond with a whoosh. Chapter 371 Dragon Blood Lizard, the detection technique cannot be wrong. The pond exudes a strong sour stench and has strong corrosiveness. The skeleton berserker suffers continuous damage as soon as it enters. With the skeleton berserker's senses, Lin Mo roughly saw the monster under the water. The monster looks like an octopus, with 8 tentacles and a slender body. The tips of the tentacles are forked, like animal claws, with sharp nails, and the tentacles also have suckers. The power of the suckers is great, firmly locking the skeleton berserker. More detailed things are not known. The skeleton berserker only roughly transmits information, which is not as clear as seeing it directly with the eyes. The skeleton berserker quickly counterattacked, the axe lit up with a bright red light, and heavily slashed on the monster's tentacle. Boom! A water column soared into the sky, flying to a height of tens of meters, and then fell down as raindrops. Lin Mo and Dongfang Yao had already avoided it far away when the water column rushed out. This water was too smelly and unbearable. The skeleton berserker's skills cut off the monster's tentacles like cutting tofu, and began to greet the monster's body. The skeleton archmages had already come to the edge of the water, using the berserker's vision to lock the monster's position. The skeleton's hands glowed with brilliant light, and one skill after another was thrown into the water. 35. The elements exploded, and the roar continued, with almost all the foul water in the pond being blasted into the sky. In the blink of an eye, this small pond was completely empty. The monsters inside had long been blown to pieces. Acidic water rained down. The skeleton berserker dragged the monster's head back to the ground, and Lin Mo threw out a detection spell from afar. A putrid octopusa. A level. 60 Still only the monster's name and level. Indeed, they had entered the area of level 60 monsters. Judging from the damage it had caused to the skeleton berserker earlier, it was not much different from the level 60 monsters Lin Mo had seen. The only difference was that its attacks were accompanied by a strong, corpse poison. This term was obtained from Dongfang Yao. Each attack would increase the accumulation of corpse poison. After many attacks, the accumulated, corpse poison, would be quite astonishing. The corpse poison would cause continuous damage, lasting for quite a long time. Lin Mo once conducted an experiment, allowing a skeleton berserker to be bitten by a level 30 low-level carrion. As a result, the corpse poison still existed after 10 days. The strong persistence shocked Lin Mo. Dongfang Yao told him at the time that corpse poison would continue to exist as long as it was not resolved. Accumulation and permanent existence made corpse poison extremely terrifying. Fortunately, the Lich General's skills could eliminate corpse poison, otherwise, after repeated accumulation, Lin Mo would have to abandon the poisoned skeletons and resummon them. Looking at the thousands of ponds ahead, almost every pond contained putrid octopuses, and to pass through, they would inevitably be attacked. Lin Mo had never liked being passive. With a thought, hundreds of skeleton archmages appeared. The skeleton archmages directly took action, using elemental explosions to blast open the ponds, dry up the foul water, and blast out the putrid octopuses inside. The skeleton berserkers were also ready, and as soon as the putrid octopuses appeared, they would wave their axes and rush up, quickly chopping the putrid octopuses into minced meat. Although these putrid octopuses would not truly die, they would not be able to recover in a short period of time. The skeletons moved quickly, clearing a path. Lin Mo and Dongfang Yao advanced together along the cleared path, and it took them half a day to leave this pond area. The sky brightened, and lightning flashed across the sky. A storm appeared ahead, and Dongfang Yao said with a smile, "You can get struck by lightning again." Lin Mo looked at the storm. In the level 60 area, the storm was obviously stronger than before. Beneath the storm cloud, a large number of monsters were gathered. Nearly 100 monsters gathered together, and then a bolt of lightning fell from the sky. The lightning was enormous, striking a monster. The monster exploded on the spot, and the terrifying lightning burst out, absorbed by other monsters. The exploded monster then healed and recovered, emitting an even stronger aura than before. After the lightning, the rumbling sound was transmitted, deafening, as if the earth were shaking. Dongfang Yao trembled in her heart. This lightning seems much more powerful than before. Lin Mo nodded slightly. It was indeed much more powerful. He had already seen that so many monsters were focused together to share the lightning. Although creation lightning could cause them to evolve, it would also cause them damage. If they couldn't withstand it, they would also explode and need a long time to fully recover. Lin Mo had seen similar situations along the way. Lin Mo pondered, I didn't expect these guys to have learned to share damage. Is it because they have developed a weak intelligence, or is it instinct? Among these carrion monsters, there were humans, demons, and dragons. The three races, who fought to the death outside, were getting along harmoniously here. In the Acarian realm, there was no opposition between the three races, only carrion-type monsters, they had become one race. The creation lightning was shared and absorbed by them, and they all gained benefits, their auras increased a lot. Then they collectively turned their heads to look at Lin Mo and Dongfang Yao. The aura of living people was as dazzling as the sun in front of the carrion. Hundreds of carrion corpses rushed towards the two of them at the same time. Along the way, the carrion corpses had been relatively scattered. Occasionally, they would encounter 3 or 4 gathered together. It was the first time they had encountered hundreds of carrion monsters rushing over together, and each one was over level 60. Like the three races, once they exceeded level 60, their attributes would increase significantly. Carrion corpses were no exception. If it were before the second transfer, Lin Mo would have turned around and left without saying a word when facing this group of carrion corpses. But now, in less than a breath, these carrion corpses had rushed over 1,000 meters. Lin Mo was prepared. Standing at the forefront were 500 skeleton berserkers, behind them were 500 skeleton archmages. Finally, there were 2 lich generals standing. The skeleton berserkers waved their axes and blocked all the rushing carrion monsters, not one was able to rush past. At this moment, the skeleton berserkers played the role of knights. Although they didn't have the shields of knights, the skeleton berserkers used their bodies to form shields. The skeleton archmages stood behind them, outputting damage, and explosions continued. These carrion monsters were obviously much stronger than the putrid octopuses, and the skeleton archmages could not kill them instantly. A superior carriona. A level. 61 A superior putrid demona. A level. 62 A superior putrid dragonblood lizarda. A level. 61 3 consecutive detection spells landed on 3 different types of carrion monsters. They were all remnants of the ancient war, belonging to different races. Carrion corpses belong to the human race, and putrid demons belong to the abyss demons. But the monster that looked like a dragon. How could this be? Lin Mo revealed a hint of surprise. It was clearly a dragon carrion monster, how could it have become a dragonblood lizard? Although the dragon's appearance did have some characteristics of a lizard. Dongfang Yao asked strangely, what's wrong? Use detection to look at the dragon's 063 carrion monster. Dongfang Yao cast a detection spell, and then also revealed a look of surprise, how could it be a dragonblood lizard? Lin Mo shook his head. He had encountered dragon carrion monsters before, but at that time the other party's level was too low, and they were blasted into slag under the attack of the skeleton archmages. So Lin Mo hadn't used detection to look at them. Detection spells would not lie, this was a skill brought out from the origin secret realm by the human race's sages. Moreover, as long as they were human, they could use it, without the restriction of professional level. Over the years, detection spells had given the human race too much help. 36. The detection spell wouldn't be wrong about it being a dragon blood lizard. Lin Mo felt like he had discovered some incredible secret. Under the full siege of the skeleton berserkers and skeleton archmages, these 100 or so corpse fiends were quickly cleaned up. In the end, only fragments were scattered around, waiting to be reborn. The lich generals dispelled the corpse poison from the skeleton berserkers, and Lin Mo strode into the storm. Dongfang Yao said with worry, be careful. She had seen the astonishing attack power of the lightning, which required 100 corpse fiends to share in order to withstand it. But Lin Mo was alone. Lin Mo didn't care, a warm current flowed through his body, and the Genesis scepter appeared in his hand. The Genesis scepter didn't need to be stored in the storage space, it was somewhat similar to the domain god stone. It was usually stored in the mental world, and could be summoned directly when needed. The intensity of the storm group in the level 60 area was greatly enhanced, and the power of the Genesis lightning was also many times stronger. But Lin Mo wasn't worried at all. If it wanted to strike him to death, it would have to ask his undead legion first. A hint of expectation arose in his eyes, perhaps the enhanced Genesis lightning could bring him a surprise. Chapter 372, The Boss in the Corpse World. Elemental immunity had reached 75%, and the Genesis scepter was much brighter than when he first obtained it. It emitted a faint glow, like a piece of jade. However, there were still many flaws in this piece of jade, and many cracks could be seen upon closer inspection. Lin Moyu guessed that when all these cracks disappeared, the Genesis scepter would be completely restored. At that time, he would know just how strong the Genesis scepter was. He could compare it with the Monarch scepter to see which one was more powerful. Lightning wings spread open, he removed the bone armor, and charged into the clouds against the bone-corroding wind and flesh-melting rain. In an instant, a large amount of lightning bombarded him. Obtained Genesis lightning, experience plus 2000000. Obtained Genesis lightning, experience plus 2000000. The storm didn't welcome outsiders like Lin Moyu. The Genesis lightning in the level 60 area had increased in power many times. The tingling sensation was very obvious, a large amount of Genesis lightning entered his body, and the warm current increased sharply. After reaching the limit, it flowed into the Genesis scepter. At the same time, Lin Moyu's undead legion was enduring terrifying damage. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly, the damage in that instant was too great. The skeletons couldn't recover in time just by staying in the summoning space. Lin Moyu had 75% lightning damage immunity, plus 5 times damage reduction, equivalent to 20 times damage reduction. Even so, it was still somewhat difficult to bear. All the undead legion was released at the same time, a rain of skeletons fell from the sky, and the entire undead legion appeared. 20 Lich generals simultaneously cast legion healing themselves and the skeletons. Lightning constantly bombarded, and a large amount of damage was constantly transferred to them. The Lich general's healing speed was very fast, and it was also a full army heal. The damage caused by the lightning couldn't compare to the Lich general's healing speed, and Lin Moyu ignored the lightning attacks again. A large amount of warm current entered the Genesis scepter, and the scepter became brighter and brighter. The electric element immunity trait also showed signs of continuing to improve. When the Genesis lightning in the storm was completely absorbed, the electric element immunity trait had increased to 76%. One was worth 10 of the previous ones. Most of the cracks on the Genesis scepter had disappeared. According to this pattern, as long as he found a few more storms, the Genesis scepter could be repaired. Experience increased greatly, from 30% to 50%. With a hint of joy, the two searched for storm groups in this bone transformation land above level 60. The undead legion cleared the way, constantly transmitting the surrounding situation back. In the level 60 bone transformation land, the number of storm groups was significantly reduced. It took 3 days to find 2 storm groups. When the lightning in the 2 storm groups was absorbed, Lin Moyu's experience reached level 41, 88%. The electric element immunity trait also reached 79%. Only one crack remained on the Genesis scepter. This crack ran from the bottom of the scepter to the top, piercing through the entire body. Lin Moyu estimated in his heart that as long as he found another storm, he could level up to 42. The electric element immunity trait could also reach 80%. The Genesis scepter also had a high probability of being completely repaired. Thinking of this, a hint of joy couldn't help but appear on his face. In 3 days, they had gone more than 2,000 kilometers deeper. They began to encounter corpse fiends above level 64. Fortunately, so far they hadn't encountered any boss-type monsters. Lin Moyu even suspected whether there were any boss-level monsters in the corpse world. Dongfang Yao didn't know about this issue either. She had told Lin Moyu everything she knew about the corpse world. Both of them discovered that the deeper they went into the bone transformation land, the fewer storms there were. Unconsciously, the environment changed again. The bone-corroding wind gradually increased without them realizing it, blowing in gusts, carrying terrifying corrosiveness. Now Lin Moyu had to replenish his bone armor every 10 minutes. The attack power of the wind became extremely terrifying, and as they went deeper, the bone-corroding wind continued to strengthen. Without the protection of the bone armor, Dongfang Yao wouldn't be able to survive here for a minute. Even if it was a level 60 night, they wouldn't be able to last for more than a few minutes. They had to have a healer constantly healing them to be able to persist in this environment. Not only did the wind increase, but the number of monsters also increased significantly. The Undead Legion encountered a large number of monsters while scouting the way. After level 60, each level increase would greatly increase attributes. The combat power of a level 64 monster was at least 3 or 4 times that of a level 60 monster. The Skeleton Archmage's elemental explosion skill required 30 or 40 hits to kill one. On the 5th day of entering the bone transformation land, Lin Moyu and Dongfang Yao encountered another batch of monsters. These monsters numbered over 300, and their levels were between 64 and 65. Fortunately, they had the Undead Legion, which quickly cleaned them up. Dongfang Yao had lingering fears. It's a good thing it's you. If it were another profession, they could only escape. AI 1/2. Lin Moyu's voice was calm. Top-tier professionals above level 70 wouldn't find it too difficult to eliminate these corpse fiends. Moreover, they can fly for a long time, and they can escape at any time if they can't win. Dongfang Yao didn't think so, but what if there are corpse fiends above level 70 ahead? Lin Moyu's expression couldn't help but become a little more serious. What Dongfang Yao said was very likely to happen. If they faced level 70 corpse fiends, what if they could also fly? Thinking about various possibilities, Lin Moyu felt that they had to fight to know. Level 70 monsters couldn't be simply compared to level 70 professionals. 37. Having already come this far, there's no turning back. Come what may. In the distance, the sky suddenly lit up. 2 seconds later, the two heard a clap of thunder. Lin Moyu's face showed a hint of joy. Storm. The two immediately rushed towards the direction of the sound. It had been 2 days since they found a storm. The deeper they went into the land of bone dissolution, the fewer storms there were. The sky bloomed with brightness again, followed by rolling thunder. The sound seemed close, but the actual location was far. After running for a while, a giant storm came into view. It was larger than any storm they had encountered before. The gale howled, causing the bone armor to creak. At the edge of the storm, the power of the bone-etching wind was even more astonishing. Lin Moyu looked at the storm cluster within reach. If he could absorb all the creation lightning in this storm, he would definitely level up, and there was a high chance that the staff of creation could be restored. Dongfang Yao pointed to the center of the storm. Look, what is that? In the center of the storm, on the ground, a huge monster stood there. It was more than 30 meters tall, exuding a rotten aura, like a small mountain. Lightning struck it, and the thunder light filled its body, all absorbed by it. Boss. There really was a boss in the corpse realm. It's just that this boss in front of him looked a bit strange. A human head, demon wings, and a dragon tail. Covered with scales, it looked like a hybrid of the three races. When Dongfang Yao saw it, she felt very strange. How can there be such a monster? Lin Moyu maintained his vigilance towards the unknown. The detection skill landed on the monster. Mixed putrid abomination, elite monster. Level 66. It was indeed a boss, but there was no attribute introduction. Lin Moyu didn't know its attributes or skills. It stinks. Dongfang Yao covered her nose. The gale howled, bringing a strong stench. It was the smell from this boss, unbearably foul. It absorbed the creation lightning, its aura seemed to have strengthened a bit, and it turned its head to look at Lin Moyu. The next second, it rushed over at a high speed. Its body was huge, but its speed was amazing, not even inferior to the skeleton berserker. Lin Moyu judged from this that its agility attribute was not low. Looking at its size, the strength attribute would not be bad either. With an order, the skeleton berserkers rushed up. The huge body rushed over like an avalanche. The skeleton warriors were knocked away. Seeing this scene, Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. After being blessed by the Legion state, the level 41 skeleton warriors had a strength attribute as high as 168,000. They were still being knocked away. The strength attribute of this monster must be over 200,000. With one blow, the bone armor would be directly shattered. You retreat further away. Lin Moyu whispered, leading the Undead Legion to meet it. He could completely withstand the boss's attack. If it were Dongfang Yao, she would probably be slapped to death in 2 hits. He might not even be able to save her in time. The Undead Legion appeared collectively. After leveling up to level 41, the Undead Legion was replenished. The summoning space increased from 600 to 630, and the number of members that the Lich General could control also increased. 21 Undead Legions, each with 630 skeletons, warriors, mages, and archers evenly distributed. A total of 13,230 members. Thousands of skeleton berserkers rushed up, finally stopping the boss's momentum and surrounding it. They unleashed their skills, axes raised, and chopped down with a sky full of red light. Fireworks exploded all over the boss's body. Thousands of sharp arrows pierced through the air, instantly turning the boss into a hedgehog. Chapter 373 Unremovable Corpse Poison, Secret Realm. Under the triple attack, countless flesh and blood exploded from the boss. This boss was clearly an aggregate of 3 race corpses. Its body began to disintegrate after being attacked. Roar! The boss let out a strange roar. Lin Moyu heard the monsters in the corpse realm making sounds for the first time. The sound was low, hoarse, and made people feel dull and uncomfortable. In the roar, the boss's skill was activated. It actively exploded a large piece of rotten flesh, which hit the skeleton berserkers with a powerful impact. The skeleton berserkers were knocked away. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed slightly. The rotten flesh was carrying extremely strong corpse poison. Moreover, the corpse poison was contagious. It was spreading to other skeletons. The Lich General used skills, but could not resolve the corpse poison. Not having time to think about the reason during the battle, Lin Moyu immediately ordered the skeletons poisoned by the corpse poison to surround the boss, and the remaining skeleton berserkers retreated far away. At least hundreds of skeleton berserkers were poisoned by the corpse poison. It was enough to use them to besiege the boss. After all, there were skeleton archmages and sharpshooters constantly attacking from the outside. After activating the skill, the boss's size was obviously smaller, and its strength was also reduced. Compared to the boss in the ancient battlefield, this one was useless in other aspects except for the corpse poison, which was more troublesome. Elemental explosions continued, rumbling non-stop. The boss's flesh and blood were destroyed, and its size became smaller and smaller. The attacks of the skeleton berserkers and sharpshooters were also non-stop. In just 1 minute, the boss was completely destroyed under the intensive attacks. The boss was not truly dead, it was just destroyed, and it would probably be reborn again after a period of time. Lin Moyu was no stranger to this. He had not truly killed a monster since entering the corpse realm. It should be said that he had no ability to kill any monster in the corpse realm. He could only destroy them. Lin Moyu didn't know the reason. What was giving him a headache now were the hundreds of skeleton berserkers poisoned by the corpse poison. There were as many as 472. 38. They were constantly taking damage. The boss's corpse poison was extremely potent, dealing a significant amount of damage every second. If it weren't for the all-encompassing Link talent, where all summons shared the damage, and the Lich Generals providing healing, these few skeleton berserkers wouldn't last 2 minutes. Dongfang Yao, having rushed back, also noticed something was wrong and said in a deep voice, "Can't the corpse poison be dispelled?" Lin Moy shook his head. The boss's corpse poison is too high level. It can't be dispelled. That's troublesome then. Dongfang Yao's expression turned serious. If corpse poison can't be dispelled, it will persist until the target dies. Moreover, it's contagious, which is a major headache. Lin Moy was also aware of this, having already tried earlier. Because of the corpse poison, he couldn't recall the 472 skeleton berserkers into his summoning space. Nor could he allow other skeletons to come into contact with them. He himself couldn't get too close to these skeletons either. While all-encompassing Link prevented the skeletons from dying, it also meant that the other members of the Undead Legion had to share the damage. He finally realized how troublesome the corpse poison was, as it had turned his advantage into a disadvantage. Dongfang Yao asked worriedly, "What do we do now?" Lin Moy took a deep breath. "We'll talk about it later. I'm going into the storm. Stay away from them." With that, Lin Moy unfurled his wings of lightning, transforming into a streak of light as he dove into the storm clouds. The bone armor was deactivated, and the Genesis scepter was in hand. A large amount of lightning struck his body, and the immense damage was quickly transferred to the Undead Legion. The Lich Generals continued to heal. Lin Moy wouldn't take a single point of damage as long as the skeletons weren't completely wiped out. The storm was massive, and the Genesis lightning was exceptionally abundant, more so than the previous times. Acquired Genesis lightning, experience plus 2 million. Acquired Genesis lightning, experience plus 2 million. As the lightning struck his body, his experience rapidly increased. In just half a minute, Lin Moy was enveloped in the light of leveling up. At the same time as he leveled up, a warm current throughout his body once again broke through its limits and surged into the Genesis scepter. The Genesis scepter shimmered, and the final crack completely disappeared. The entire scepter erupted with dazzling light, illuminating the earth. Within the white light, Lin Moy sensed boundless vitality, the aura of life. Genesis scepter fragmented. Usable life core can repair Genesis scepter. The detection skill only provided this information, without specifying what the core looked like or where to find it. Still can't use it. Genesis scepter, what kind of weapon are you, exactly? Lin Moi pondered in his heart. Boom, more lightning struck, but this time, its target wasn't Lin Moi but the Genesis scepter in his hand. The remaining lightning in the storm was running out. With the Genesis scepter being repaired, the remaining lightning all struck the Genesis scepter. The Genesis scepter grew even brighter, followed by waves of spatial distortion. Before Lin Moi, a shimmering gate appeared. A secret realm. Lin Moi was astonished. He hadn't expected the Genesis scepter to open up a secret realm. The gate to the secret realm was hidden within the storm, invisible from the outside. The wings of lightning's duration ended, and Lin Moi landed with a puzzled expression. He was still glowing, and the light from leveling up hadn't completely faded. Dongfang Yao smiled. Congratulations, you've leveled up again. Lin Moi responded with a hum, just lucky. It had been a month since arriving in the corpse world, and he had only leveled up twice, which wasn't fast at all. He wondered what level his sister was at now. Lin Moi knew that if he hadn't been trapped in the corpse world, if he had been grinding suitable instances in the instance dungeon hall, he would probably be level 45 or even higher by now. Dongfang Yao asked, what about these skeletons? Lin Moi thought for a moment and said, I'll just have to dismiss them. Since he couldn't cure the corpse poison, he could only dismiss the skeletons and resummon them. Lin Moi hadn't expected that after obtaining the all-encompassing link talent, there would be a day when he would actively dismiss his summons. He understood that no talent or skill was perfect, there were always drawbacks. With a thought, the 472 skeleton berserkers afflicted with corpse poison simultaneously fell apart. The corpse poison quickly dissipated. Lin Moi began summoning skeletons one by one. He was level 42 now and needed to replenish the undead legion to its full strength. The summoning space increased by another 30 slots, reaching 660. The Lich Generals also increased to 22, enough to form 22 undead legions. Each undead legion consisted of 660 skeletons, with the 3 types of skeletons evenly distributed, bringing the total number of skeletons to 14,520. The undead legion had become stronger once again. Fortunately, his mental energy was now infinite, allowing Lin Moi to summon skeletons very quickly. In just over half an hour, he had replenished the skeletons to their full strength. Stowing away the undead legion, Lin Moi glanced at the storm and sensed that the gate to the secret realm was still there. I'm taking you somewhere, Lin Moi said. Dongfang Yao was stunned. Taking her somewhere? This was the corpse world. Where else could they go? Up in the sky. Before Dongfang Yao could react, Lin Moi grabbed her hand. The wings of lightning unfurled, and the two of them instantly took flight. Dongfang Yao had experience flying and wasn't flustered. However, with Lin Moi holding her hand, her fair face flushed red, and she felt somewhat unnatural. The wings of lightning were too fast, and they instantly plunged into the storm, where they saw the gate to the secret realm. Dongfang Yao was incredibly amazed. A secret realm? How could there be a secret realm here? Lin Moi didn't explain and led Dongfang Yao inside. What lay beyond the secret realm, whether there were dangers, Lin Moi had considered for a moment. Could it be worse than the corpse world? He was still at ease in the level 60 area. But what about higher level areas? What if he encountered level 70 or 80 corpses? Or even, god-level corpses? Lin Moi was confident, but not arrogant. Although Dongfang Yao hadn't said whether there were god-level corpses in the corpse world, Lin Moi had deduced through analysis that there definitely were. Otherwise, the Dongfang family wouldn't be guarding this place. If there were no god-level corpses here, a few god-level experts could easily sweep through the corpse world. He couldn't kill the corpses, but god-level experts definitely had a way. Moreover, the boss's corpse poison had made Lin Moi realize something: his level was still too low. His skills were strong, but he was still powerless against high-level corpse poison. After considering everything, Lin Moi decided to enter the secret realm. 39. Even the worst wouldn't be worse than the corpse realm. Chapter 374. Creation Secret Realm, God of Life. The sun is bright and warm, birds sing and flowers give fragrance. The world before one's eyes is bright, warm, and full of vitality. Suddenly rushing from the dark, putrid, cold, and lifeless corpse realm into a completely different world. Lin Mo and Dongfang Yao were both a little unaccustomed to it. The light was too bright, and Dongfang Yao couldn't even open her eyes. Lin Mo gradually adapted, and the creation scepter automatically emerged, shining brightly. Its beam of light echoed the light in the secret realm. A white light full of vitality shot out from the creation scepter, heading straight into the distance. Lin Mo immediately understood that he was being asked to go over, the creation scepter was guiding him. Dongfang Yao finally adapted and looked surprised. What kind of place is this? Lin Mo looked at the surrounding environment. Flowers and plants, like a garden. There is a small sun in the sky, providing energy for the garden. Lin Mo used a probing spell towards the small sun. The probing spell stirred up a breeze that swept through the garden. Creation's secret realm. The result of the probing spell was just 4 words, very simple. Creation lightning, creation scepter, creation secret realm. The 3 have close connections, arousing Lin Mo's curiosity. Dongfang Yao followed suit, also learning from Lin Mo to use the probing spell. Knowing that this place is called Creation's Secret Realm. Let's go. With a little time left for the wings of lightning, Lin Mo wanted to fly forward. Suddenly, his whole body sank, and he couldn't fly. He realized that this place was air-restricted, prohibiting flight. Since that's the case, then let's walk. Stepping on the soft grass and breathing the fresh air, Dongfang Yao revealed a look of enjoyment. The air here is so fresh, much better than the corpse realm. The air in the corpse realm is like a garbage dump that has been around for years, stinky and sour, of course it can't compare with here. Small insects crawled in the garden, making very slight noises. The sound of water rang out in front. There was a pond behind the garden. The pool water was clear, and there were fish swimming in it. Birds flew in the sky. Here, everything is full of vitality. Following the guidance of the creation scepter, the 2 passed through the garden, walked through a small forest, and finally saw a manor. The manor is located in the jungle, surrounded by a small bridge and flowing water, like a paradise. It is different from the paradise of the righteous God's secret realm. The righteous God's secret realm is more down to earth, with some everyday atmosphere. But here, it doesn't seem like a place where people live. Lin Mo had this feeling for some reason. The manor is surrounded by flowing water, and the manor is like an independent island, connected to the outside by a small bridge. Ouch! Dongfang Yao suddenly cried out in pain. Lin Mo turned his head and saw a thin, transparent barrier appearing behind him at some point. Dongfang Yao was caught off guard and bumped her head on the transparent barrier. Strange, when did the barrier appear? Lin Mo felt strange, there was clearly no barrier just now. He took 2 steps back and passed through the barrier smoothly. Then he went forward again and entered the barrier smoothly again. The barrier had no effect on him at all. But Dongfang Yao, she couldn't get in no matter what. Lin Mo thought of the creation scepter. The difference between the 2 was the creation scepter. When he handed the creation scepter to Dongfang Yao couldn't take it no matter what. For Dongfang Yao, the creation scepter was like an illusion, she couldn't even touch it. She could see it but couldn't touch it, like a phantom. After trying a few times, Dongfang Yao sighed, if you can't get in, I'll just wait outside. Lin Mo didn't hesitate, released a legion of undead to protect Dongfang Yao, and then went in himself. He passed through the barrier smoothly, walked over the small bridge, and came to the gate of the manor. Lin Mo paused when he saw the gate of the manor. A scepter was engraved on the gate. The appearance of the scepter is exactly the same as the creation scepter, to be precise, the body of the scepter is exactly the same. There was also a hexagonal gemstone on the creation scepter on the door. Lin Mo knew that this was the life core that the creation scepter lacked. Only by obtaining the life core can the creation scepter become complete. He gently pushed the door, the manor door opened automatically, and Lin Mo walked in. After he went in, the manor door closed automatically. The furnishings in the manor are very simple, just a small garden, not even a room. It's just that there are no flowers now, only grass. In the center of the garden is a statue. The statue is holding something in its hand, as if holding something. Lin Mo looked back and forth in the garden several times, and nothing unusual happened, and finally came to the statue. The statue is in the shape of a woman, very delicate and lifelike. From the statue, the woman is very beautiful. Lin Mo didn't see anything, and even the probing spell didn't have any reaction. In this world, probing spells will have some feedback more or less. Even a name. There are not many things that the probing spell does not react to. This is enough to prove that this statue is unusual. Lin Mo checked it and finally focused on the statue's hand gesture. Lin Mo took out the creation scepter and put it on it. The creation scepter that Dongfang Yao couldn't touch landed safely on the statue's hand. The creation scepter bloomed with dazzling light, and the entire statue was shining. Lin Mo took 2 steps back slightly. Although he didn't feel any threat, Lin Mo still maintained the necessary vigilance. In the dazzling light, the statue turned into a woman. The appearance is no different from that of a human woman. A woman who is so beautiful and holy that it is difficult to describe in words. Her beauty is very special, noble, and holy, as if she is not from this world. The woman held the creation scepter, her eyes were soft, and her voice was gentle. "Hello, human." 40. Lin Mo asked, "May I ask who you are?" The woman said softly, "I am the former god of life." Lin Mo's whole body went numb, and a chill rose from the soles of his feet. He had various guesses about the Staff of Genesis. The most likely possibility was a legendary weapon. After all, the monarch scepter he possessed was a legendary weapon. He never thought that he would meet a god because of it. Wait, Lin Mo heard a different meaning from her words. She said, "Former." A trace of sadness appeared in the beautiful eyes of the god of life, and at that moment, Lin Mo's heart uncontrollably gave rise to a strong sense of sorrow. The domain god stone rotated spontaneously, and the killing intent inside rushed out, causing Lin Mo's spirit to shake and instantly wake up. Lin Mo was filled with fear. The other party didn't say or do anything, just expressed a little emotion, and he was affected. "Are gods so terrifying?" The god of life said with a bit of apology. "Sorry, I lost control of my emotions for a moment." She walked slowly, coming to a place where flowers should have been planted. The staff of Genesis in her hand waved gently, and a large number of flowers emerged from the ground one after another, quickly growing and blooming. Then she walked to several other places and did the same. Soon, the garden was full of various flowers. The fragrance of flowers filled the air, and the garden was full of color. Lin Mo was already numb. Is this the method of a god? God of life, could it be that she can really manipulate life? The woman elegantly returned to Lin Mo. "It's been a long time since I've seen the former scene. This may be the last time I'll see it. Human, do you know? The world outside wasn't originally called Corpse World." Lin Mo said, "In our human records, it was because of a great battle, an extremely terrifying skill, that it evolved into the Corpse World." The god of life sighed. "The one who used that skill was also a god. He destroyed my world and turned my world into a land of death. He killed everyone in the 3 races, killed me, and also killed himself. Although this skill is powerful, the price is too great." Lin Mo felt horrified. Wasn't it a war between the 3 races? How were even the gods involved? And they used a skill that resulted in mutual destruction. This skill could even kill gods. It was indeed extremely terrifying. Lin Mo thought for a while and finally asked the question he had always wanted to know. "Respected god of life, what exactly is a god like?" The god of life smiled. "Little human, the secrets of the gods cannot be said. You will slowly find out in the future." Obviously, she didn't intend to answer Lin Mo. Lin Mo continued to ask unwillingly, "Who is stronger, the gods or our human god-level experts?" The god of life chuckled, seemingly finding Lin Mo's question very interesting. "Human gods, abyss demon kings, dragon kings, and we gods are all existences of the same level. As for who is stronger, it depends on who goes further in this level." This answer was not much different from what Meng Anwen had said. In the end, strength still depends on oneself. Lin Mo felt slightly relieved. In that case, gods are not as powerful as he imagined. "Then you?" Lin Mo continued to ask his second question. The god of life smiled again. Lin Mo had to admit that her smile was very beautiful, the most beautiful he had ever seen. Too perfect, unlike a woman of this world, with a sense of unreality. She began to move again, walking towards a garden. This time, Lin Mo followed. Lin Mo didn't feel any malice from her. The god of life waved her hand gently, and petals flew up, staggered high and low, forming a flight of stairs. "Your human gods are like these steps. Every step forward will become more powerful. There is a saying that one step ascends to heaven. A difference of one level is a world of difference. Our gods are divided into low, medium, and high 3 levels. I am a high-level god, about the level of your human level 97 god-level expert." Meng Anwen and the other 2 were all level 95 god-level experts, already the top of the human race. Even if Meng Anwen and the other 2 were added together, they probably couldn't beat the level 97 god of life. At the god level, a difference of 1 level is a huge difference. It is hard to imagine how fierce the battle was back then. Even such a strong god of life was killed. The god of life waved her hand again, and a large number of petals flew out, forming pictures. Some petals formed demons, some formed dragons, and some formed humans. In addition to the three races, there were several more gods. One of them was the god of life in front of him. The god of life used petals to show Lin Mo the battle situation at that time. It was indeed a very fierce battle at that time, and even the world was destroyed. The three races and the gods were almost in a chaotic battle. The god of life said, the root cause of the war was actually this. The god of life raised the staff of Genesis in her hand. Lin Mo was suddenly shocked. It was actually for the staff of Genesis. What kind of magic does this small staff have that can cause such turmoil? The god of life said, at the beginning of the war, I was not yet the god of life. Later, I obtained the staff of Genesis and became the god of life. When the god of life spoke, her beautiful eyes looked over. Lin Mo suddenly realized the role of the staff of Genesis. This is something that can make people become the god of life. The value of this treasure far exceeds that of a legendary weapon. The value is immeasurable, no wonder it would cause a war. Lin Mo said, gods can become the god of life by obtaining the staff, but what is the use of our human race obtaining the staff? The god of life said with a smile, it has a greater effect on the human race. The human race can comprehend the power in the staff and have the opportunity to transcend God. The god of life told the cause and result of the war in a slow and unhurried tone. Speaking slowly and elegantly, Lin Mo listened carefully and completely understood it after one time. The war was all caused by a small staff of Genesis. The previous god of life accidentally fell, leaving behind the staff of Genesis. For the gods, obtaining the staff of Genesis can obtain the inheritance of the god of life, thus becoming the new god of life. 41. In the world of gods, there are also ranks. The god of life belongs to the higher gods, equivalent to a human race's level 97 god-ranked powerhouse. If a human obtains the staff of Genesis, it is highly likely that they can become a transcendent god-ranked powerhouse by relying on the inheritance of the god of life within it, or at the very least, a demi-transcendent god. The same goes for demons, who have the opportunity to become a demon emperor. The dragon race may be able to improve their bloodline through this and return to their origins, becoming a dragon emperor. The world now known as the Corpse Realm was originally the world of the god of life before the Great War, also called the Genesis Realm, a world capable of creating life. During the war, the staff of Genesis was obtained by the god of life before them. At this moment, another god used a forbidden skill. At the cost of their own life, they destroyed the entire Genesis Realm, turning the originally vibrant Genesis Realm into the current Corpse Realm. The god of life had just completed the inheritance of her godhood and had not even had time to exert any divine power when she encountered a catastrophe. She was able to use the power of the staff of Genesis to leave a glimmer of hope for the entire world. She fell, and the staff of Genesis was divided into two. One part became the Genesis lightning, while the life core disappeared without a trace. Before her death, she integrated her last will into the Genesis secret realm. And the key to opening the secret realm is the staff of Genesis. The god of life before them is just her last will, not even a soul. After hearing the story, Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh softly. He didn't expect the reason to be like this. Even you don't know the whereabouts of the life core? Lin Moyu asked. The god of life dispersed the petals. I don't know, if you are lucky, you might encounter it. Thank you for bringing the staff of Genesis, allowing me to have the opportunity to see the flowers and plants again, and smell the fragrance of flowers. Alright, I've said everything I needed to say, and I've finally reached the end of my time. Finally, let me give you a gift. As she spoke, the goddess of life emitted a brilliant light, and the staff of Genesis returned to Lin Moyu's hands. At the same time, a life core appeared on the staff of Genesis. Little friend of the human race, this is a pseudo-life core that I have gathered with my last strength. Using it, you have 3 chances to use God-ranked power, which is only equivalent to your human race's level 90 power. A voice sounded in his ear. This was the gift the god of life spoke of. Lin Moyu asked, I remember that gods are very difficult to kill. Do you still have a chance to revive? When you become a transcendent god, you will know if there is a chance. The voice of the god of life completely weakened until it completely disappeared. Staff of Genesis, pseudo, has 3 attack chances, 3/3. While the god of life was narrating, Lin Moyu could deeply feel her sadness at the time. Her sadness was not for her own death, but for the death of a large number of living beings, and the entire Genesis realm becoming the corpse realm. This sadness was from the bottom of her heart, and Lin Moyu felt that his feeling was correct. This is a kind God. If there is a chance, perhaps he can really consider reviving her. Lin Moyu put away the Staff of Genesis. Now he has become the master of the Staff of Genesis. As long as he can find the real-life core, he can completely restore it. The statue disappeared, the flowers withered, and the entire manor dissipated with the wind. Dongfang Yao, who was outside the manor, was surprised to find that the barrier blocking her was gone. The manor also disappeared from sight. Lin Moyu was standing there blankly, lost in thought. She quickly ran over. How is it? Lin Moyu shook his head, not saying anything. It's nothing, I understand some things. Dongfang Yao was very smart and did not continue to ask. If Lin Moyu wanted to say it, he would take the initiative to say it. Since he didn't want to say it, then why ask? An exit appeared in front of the two, and standing next to the exit, they could feel the unique aura from the corpse realm. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh softly. A good Genesis realm has turned into this. That god who used the forbidden skill, I really don't know what they were thinking. Lin Moyu is not a god and cannot understand the thoughts of the gods. Let's go. He recalled the undead legion and left the secret realm with Dongfang Yao. Roars came from his ears, and terrifying pressure surged from all directions, as if to crush them into pieces. A huge tail swept over, heavily hitting Lin Moyu. The bone armor shone brightly, blocking the tail, but the bone armor also shattered at the same time. Then another palm pressed down, slamming onto Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu stood still, all the damage was transferred to the undead legion. A boulder whistled and hit Dongfang Yao. The bone armor was also smashed to pieces by the boulder. Another giant claw slammed down on Dongfang Yao's head. Lin Moyu finally recovered from the teleportation, and without thinking, he immediately put bone armor on Dongfang Yao. It wouldn't be a big deal if he was hit once or twice, but Dongfang Yao couldn't handle it. Another hit and she would probably die. The bone armor took effect in time, helping Dongfang Yao block the fatal blow. He replenished bone armor for Dongfang Yao again, and the undead legion appeared at the same time, densely packed skeletons protecting the two. Only then did Lin Moyu begin to look around. 4, 6. They were in a valley, surrounded by 6 sword-like peaks. Seeing the terrain, Lin Moyu was shocked. Central area. In the demonstration of the God of Life, the area where the great battle broke out that year was in the central area of the corpse realm. The biggest feature of the central area is that there are 6 peaks. The 6 peaks are integrated with the entire world, extremely solid, and even the great battle that year failed to destroy them. And the area surrounded by the 6 peaks is the center point of the entire world. Ah, how did we get here? Dongfang Yao finally woke up. Lin Moyu ignored her, his eyes quickly searching around, and finally found a barrier in an inconspicuous position. Is it there? Lin Moyu asked quickly. At this time, another attack swept over. It was a huge dragon tail, a rotten dragon tail. With a sweep, thousands of skeletons were swept away, falling like raindrops. The undead legion suffered heavy damage, and 22 Lich generals frantically healed. Dongfang Yao didn't react for a while. Lin Moyu pulled her, pointing to the direction of the barrier, and asked again urgently, is that the exit? Chapter 376. Decide life and death in 1 minute. The attacks came one after another, each carrying extremely terrifying power. The undead legion was almost beaten into a mess. 42. If it weren't for the comprehensive connection, the attacked skeletons would have died long ago. Now, they can only barely maintain themselves with the continuous healing of the Lich General. Lin Moyu hasn't even seen the enemy's appearance yet. Under Lin Moyu's urgent urging, Dongfang Yao confirmed her memory. That's right, that barrier has our family's mark. The passage you mentioned to leave the corpse realm, is that it? Lin Moyu continued to ask, confirming it one last time. In sight, another large group of skeletons were swept into the air, looking like they were about to fall apart. The healing light on them kept shining. Dongfang Yao glanced at the current environment, and after careful comparison and thought, she finally confirmed, that's right, it's there. Go. Lin Moyu didn't say anything, grabbed Dongfang Yao, unfolded the wings of lightning, and shot towards the barrier. The speed was instantly pushed to the limit, truly like lightning. The distance of several hundred meters was reached in less than half a second. The undead legion contracted and expanded, instantly reappearing around him, enveloping him tightly. In this half-second, Lin Moi also managed to see the attacker's identities. Not one, but several. One of them was a dragon corpse monster that should belong to the dragon race. It had a 100-meter-long dragon tail, and its body wasn't on the ground but on the mountain peak. Each attack involved the dragon tail tearing through space and directly descending. So, during the attack, only the dragon tail was visible, not the dragon itself. Another monster, shaped like a demon, had wings on its back. However, it only had one wing, and it was rotten, leaving only the skeleton. Its palms kept hitting the undead legion, also able to break through space, attacking the undead legion from hundreds of meters away. Lin Moi couldn't judge the levels of the two, but he was sure that they were at least above level 80. Just as he reached the entrance of the barrier, Lin Moi was horrified. On the 6 mountain peaks, terrifying auras rose one after another. Pairs of scarlet eyes lit up from each mountain peak. In the next moment, black shadows flew from the mountain peaks. Lin Moi's expression changed drastically, and he reached out and pressed on the barrier. His body gradually entered the barrier, and the barrier didn't reject him, allowing passage. However, the speed of passage was extremely slow, and at this speed, he wouldn't be able to enter in 5 minutes. By then, he would be stuck halfway, in an extremely awkward situation where it would be difficult to advance or retreat. Dongfang Yao said, "I can open the barrier." Lin Moi immediately retracted his hand, "Open it quickly." Dongfang Yao was already doing it, constantly casting unique imprints of the Dongfang family towards the barrier. Dongfang Yao was even more anxious than Lin Moi. "Give me some time." "How long?" Dongfang Yao said, "1 minute." "Okay." Without superfluous words, he would strive for 1 minute. As for whether he could win that time, that was another matter. The black shadows on the 6 mountain peaks were already pouncing towards the undead legion. Each black shadow was at least a level 80 existence. They were all experts from the great battle back then, killed by forbidden skills, and finally turned into corpses. Although they turned into corpses, most of their former power was still preserved. At least, it wasn't something Lin Moi could deal with now. Relying on the undead legion, Lin Moi could only delay, but he wasn't sure how long he could delay. The terrifying existences after becoming corpses had no life, couldn't be killed, didn't respond to curses, and lost their souls. Lin Moi couldn't understand what kind of existence this was, it was too terrifying. Many of his skills were ineffective. The sky darkened, and a black shadow had already reached overhead. It spat out scorching breath, and flames burst out on the skeletons, starting to burn. Dragon race, dragon breath. Lin Moi's eyes narrowed, recognizing the black shadow as coming from the dragon race at a glance. Dragon breath was its ability when it was alive, and after becoming a corpse, this ability was still retained. And it became even more terrifying. The dragon breath was accompanied by strong corpse poison, and the skeletons were poisoned. The skeletons also began to fight back, and the light of elemental explosions constantly flashed on the black shadow. Sharp arrows pierced the sky, hitting it, making clanging sounds. Its defense was too strong, and neither elemental explosions nor the sharpshooter's arrows could cause it significant damage. The black shadow continued to spew dragon breath, and the earth shook violently. Another terrifying corpse arrived. It was over 100 meters tall, and its full appearance couldn't be seen in the dark world. Lin Moi could only tell from the edges that it was a demon from the abyss. As for whether it was a top demon or a demon king, it was impossible to judge. Its hands slammed on the ground, the earth shook, and countless skeletons were blown away. Then countless red threads flew out from the ground, entwining these skeletons. The skeletons exploded in midair, falling apart. Lin Moi felt numb all over, these skeletons were actually dead. Under the opponent's attack, the talent was ineffective. Lin Moi suddenly realized that talent was not omnipotent. He had talent, maybe others also had talent, maybe some talents could cause this effect. The opponent kept hitting the ground, and batches of skeletons were shaken off and killed. Only 5 seconds had passed since the start of the battle, and at least 1,000 skeletons had died in the opponent's attack. The rest were all seriously injured, and if the Lich General hadn't healed them quickly, the Undead Legion would have been wiped out in these 5 seconds. But as the number of skeletons decreased, the time they could hold on would inevitably plummet. 1 minute, they couldn't hold on. Lin Moi's heart hardened, and the back of his hand suddenly heated up, bursting out with brilliant light. The strong soldier skill, which hadn't been used for a long time, was used again. This was Lin Moi's most powerful skill, his trump card. Strong soldier. Within 30 seconds, all basic attributes of oneself and summons are increased by 200%, and all attacks deal an additional 500% damage. Cooldown time is 1 hour. The most powerful part of the strong soldier skill was that it increased the basic attributes, and it was the basic attributes after the talent bonus. The Lich General's enhancement skill was a secondary increase on the basic attributes. Under the dual effect, the attributes of the skeletons reached the extreme. Originally, after the talent bonus, each basic attribute of a level 42 skeleton berserker was as high as 130,000, and it suddenly increased to 390,000 under the effect of strong soldier. Coupled with the Lich General's Legion enhancement skill, a single attribute reached an astonishing 546,000, and the total attribute exceeded 2 million. Under this attribute, and with an additional 500% increase in all damage, plus the skeleton berserker's own skill, which was 500% damage of strength. Lin Moi couldn't calculate how strong the skeleton berserker's attack power was at this time. In any case, at least the defense was greatly improved. Not only the skeleton berserker, but also the skeleton archmage, the skeleton sharpshooter, and himself were the same. Within these 30 seconds, Lin Moi was confident in greatly reducing the damage. As for how long he could hold on after 30 seconds, he would hold on as long as he could. 43. At this moment, Dongfang Yao was giving it her all. The barrier was too complex, and even if she knew the method, it would still take time. After all, she was still below level 40, which was understandable. All Lin Moyu could do now was buy time. Brilliant light erupted from the skeletons, and the skeleton berserkers withstood the dragon breath, no longer being blasted away. The red threads also failed to inflict fatal damage on them. The counterattack officially began. The skeleton berserkers charged towards the enemy, their speed as fast as lightning, instantly reaching the enemy before leaping high into the air. The axes in their hands carried a sky full of red light, transforming into a series of axe shadows that crashed down. The skeleton archmage's elemental explosions also unleashed unprecedented destructive power. Amidst the explosions, large pieces of rotten flesh were blasted off the dark shadow. The skeleton marksman's arrows transformed into lightning, deeply piercing its body before exploding. Chunks of rotten flesh and dragon scales fell from the sky, heavily crashing onto the ground. The attacks had finally exceeded its defensive limit. It seemed to be enraged, continuously spewing dragon breath in retaliation. Empowered by the strong soldier skill, the skeleton's strength drastically increased, and the damage caused by the dragon breath was greatly reduced. On the other side, the skeleton berserkers had already charged onto their opponents. With the eruption of skills, the opponent's rotten flesh flew everywhere. Lin Moyu was not just watching idly, his hands worked in unison, left and right, as dense bone fangs burst forth. Each time, 2,100 bone fangs were fired, 5 times per second. Dense white light lit up the sky, the bone fangs piercing through the opponent's body with a sharp whistling sound, riddling it with holes. Taking advantage of the light, Lin Moyu finally saw the opponent's full appearance. It was indeed a member of the dragon race, with a body at least 500 meters long, incredibly huge. The dragon's head was completely rotten, with most of it revealing its pitch-black bones. Only the frame of its wings remained. Only the dragon scales on its body remained. Lin Moyu could imagine its power when it was alive, even if it wasn't at the god level, it was at least close to it. Now it was dead, and although it was still powerful, it was not as strong as when it was alive. Its fighting style had become rigid, repeatedly using only dragon breath. Having lost its intelligence, its combat power was greatly reduced. But Lin Moyu also realized that it had become even more terrifying than when it was alive. The terrifying aspect was the corpse poison, an eternally existing and unresolvable corpse poison. Chapter 377. The final 10 seconds, a line between life and death. Corpse poison would continuously cause damage, and the higher the level of corpse poison, the stronger the damage. Unresolvable, eternally existing. At least, that was the case for now. Once killed by corpse poison, one would also turn into a corpse. Corpse poison could also be transmitted to others, and if it spread, it would be a cataclysmic disaster. Fortunately, the corpse world was sealed, and the corpses inside could not escape. The only exit was the barrier guarded by the Dongfang family. Only the Dongfang family could open this barrier. If other humans wanted to enter, it would take some time. But under the siege of these powerful corpses, where would they find the time? A terrifying aura flew out from one of the mountain peaks, instantly descending. Lin Moyu's expression turned solemn. This time, something even stronger seemed to have come. It wielded a staff in its hand, smashing down from the sky. Amidst a deafening roar, the earth cracked, and the terrifying power blasted the skeletons into the sky. The staff swept across the air, transforming into a giant staff shadow hundreds of meters long. The skeletons were swept away in midair, directly crashing into the mountain peaks hundreds of meters away. The mountain peaks shook, alarming more corpses in the mountains. Pairs of blood-red eyes lit up, and terrifying auras rose. Lin Moyu was horrified. How many corpses were there? Currently, just from the auras he could sense, there were at least 100 corpses above level 80. Lin Moyu wasn't even sure if he could hold out until the end. Those skeletons that were swept into the mountain peaks would never come out again. Lin Moyu knew that clearly. The skeleton archmages and skeleton marksmen rapidly provided support. The skeleton berserkers also pounced over. Elemental explosions erupted on its body, creating a colorful and extremely beautiful display. The skeleton berserkers also swung their giant axes towards it. Bone fangs whistled through the air. It raised its staff, unleashing a sky full of staff shadows. Not a single berserker could get close to it, all were swept away. Taking advantage of the light, Lin Moyu finally saw it clearly. This was a powerful member of the human race. Although it was already decayed, it could still be recognized. Its combat power was too strong, clearly surpassing the previous dragon and demon. Even in the strong soldier state, the skeletons were no match. Lin Moyu even suspected that it had already reached the god level. So strong. Lin Moyu's expression was extremely solemn. The skeleton warriors began to go up in batches, so they could delay for a little more time. Wherever the staff went, nothing could stop it. An idea flashed in Lin Moyu's mind, and a Lich General charged to the forefront. Although the Lich General had no attack power, it had the highest physique and defense among all of Lin Moyu's summons. Its base physique was as high as 270,000, and after being boosted by the strong soldier skill and its own buffs, its physique attribute exceeded 1.1 million. If anyone could withstand the attacks of this staff-wielding corpse, it would be the Lich General. The Lich General charged out, actively meeting the staff. With a bang, the staff struck its body, and the Lich General was severely injured. But it didn't retreat half a step, stubbornly withstanding the blow. The remaining 21 Lich Generals were rapidly healing it, allowing it to quickly recover. Seeing this, Lin Moyu immediately abandoned attacking the staff-wielding corpse, letting the Lich General hold it back. The Lich General became a meat shield, enduring the attacks one after another. The battle progressed to the 20th second. Skeleton losses exceeded 2,000. If it weren't for the strong soldier skill, they definitely wouldn't have been able to hold on until now. The strong soldier skill still had 15 seconds left. Within 15 seconds, I must take down 2. If he couldn't eliminate the initial dragon corpse and demon corpse within 15 seconds, then when more corpses arrived later, he might as well just commit suicide. Lin Moyu hardened his heart. Besides having the skeleton berserkers hold back the demon and the Lich General hold back the staff-wielding corpse, all the remaining skeleton archmages and skeleton marksmen simultaneously attacked the dragon corpse. He himself didn't idle for a moment, firing bone fangs at the dragon corpse with all his might. 44. It seemed the weakest, so he'd start with it. The short 20 seconds were the most intense Lin Mo had ever experienced in battle. Fighting until now, he didn't even have time to use detection. Now he was racing against every second. Even half a second could determine life or death. What was the use of knowing the opponent's level? Under Lin Mo's all-out attack, the dragon corpse was finally completely destroyed after 6 seconds, disintegrating and falling in the air. Without even a half-second delay, he immediately shifted his target to the demon corpse. The strong soldier skill state still had 9 seconds remaining. The demon corpse was covered in skeleton berserkers. The demon corpse was full of corpse poison, and every skeleton berserker was infected, enduring the damage and continuously attacking. With the addition of the archmage and sharpshooters, the demon corpse was instantly overwhelmed. Finally, with the strong soldier skill having only 1 second left, the demon corpse collapsed. The next second, the strong soldier skill went into cooldown. All attributes receded like a tide. There were 25 seconds left until the 1-minute mark. The club-wielding corpse landed a blow, and the Lich General, who had been barely holding on, was instantly sent flying, disappearing from sight completely. The Lich General was finished. This was the first time the Lich General had died since the formation of the Undead Legion. Lin Mo was clear that the next 25 seconds would be the most difficult. He didn't urge Dongfang Yao. Dongfang Yao was already giving it her all, and urging would only backfire. Everyone should do their job. At this moment, Lin Mo was incredibly calm. The Undead Legion began to scatter. The opponent's attacks were all area of effect, and staying together would only lead to faster annihilation. The skeleton warriors began to run quickly, attracting the opponent's attention. Fortunately, the opponent's intelligence wasn't high. Having died and become a corpse, their intelligence was almost gone. If it were a true powerhouse, they would definitely kill Lin Mo first. The powerhouses sleeping in the mountains continuously awakened and began to descend. A huge tree appeared in the air, covered with rotten branches. It was impossible to tell what kind of tree it was. The tree was withered, and the branches and leaves were rotten. The moment it appeared, Lin Mo was horrified. Because in the great battle described by the god of life, its figure had once appeared. This was a god, the god of life called it the tree god. A plant-based god, with incredibly strong vitality, extremely difficult to kill. In the great battle of that year, it had shone brightly, killing in all directions. Later, it was heavily injured by a human powerhouse, but it didn't die. At that time, it fled, fleeing the battlefield, but it was eventually killed by a forbidden skill, becoming a corpse. The forbidden skill swept across the entire world, and no living being inside could escape. The moment the tree god appeared, Lin Mo felt a chill, and a sense of crisis arose suddenly. It was stronger than the human club-wielding corpse, and not just by a little. The tree god stood in the void, its branches drooping. Dozens of branches instantly forked into hundreds, and then it pierced through space, engulfing a large number of skeletons. The speed was too fast, far exceeding the skeletons, and far exceeding Lin Mo's reaction. The skeletons were engulfed, and then exploded with a bang. They died one by one, without any ability to resist. The all-round connection talent became useless at this moment. Previously, skeletons had been directly killed, making Lin Mo realize that talent wasn't omnipotent. The corpse giant tree, which had once been a god, also possessed similar abilities. Lin Mo didn't know if this ability was a talent or something else. His level wasn't high enough to understand. The rotten giant tree had only appeared for 2 seconds, and over 1,000 skeletons had been killed. The Undead Legion had already lost a third of its numbers, now only 10,000 remained. There were 22 seconds left until the 1-minute mark. He didn't know if they could hold on. The smaller the number of the Undead Legion, the faster it would collapse in the end. The Undead Legion was rapidly decreasing in numbers. Time became incredibly long, and a large number of skeletons died every second. Dongfang Yao had obviously entered the final stage. The light on the barrier was getting brighter and brighter. Hold on, just hold on. Another 10 seconds passed. The Undead Legion had less than 4,000 left, and the rate of attrition was getting faster and faster. Lin Mo's gaze was deep. The last 10 seconds were the most difficult. A light flashed in his hand, and he took out the Genesis Scepter. This was his last trump card, 3 chances to unleash an attack equivalent to level 90. Level 90, that was the domain of the gods. Whether it was a pseudo-god or a true god, as long as they reached level 90, they definitely wouldn't be weak. The moment he took out the Genesis Scepter, the 6 mountains shook violently, and a terrifying aura shot into the sky, pressing down on him. He suddenly realized he had made a mistake. The corpses here had fought to the death for the Genesis Scepter. Even now that they were dead, their obsession with the Genesis Scepter wouldn't disappear. Taking out the Genesis Scepter was undoubtedly attracting firepower. But if he didn't use it, he might still die. The rotten giant tree in the sky suddenly locked onto Lin Mo, and all the withered branches shot over like lightning. Lin Mo instantly felt the threat of death. Determination rose in his eyes, and he raised the Genesis Scepter, aiming it at the rotten giant tree. Chapter 378. A will that even time cannot erase. Suddenly, a flash of black light passed before his eyes, and all the withered branches were cut down. A black figure appeared in front of Lin Mo. He wore armor and held a sword. It was human armor and a human sword. For countless years, this armor had never been worn down, and the sword was still sharp. There was no doubt that both pieces of equipment were legendary. And his master, a former god-level powerhouse of the human race. He looked down at Lin Mo, and then at the Genesis scepter, his eyes glowing red. Lin Mo held up the Genesis scepter but didn't activate it. Lin Mo knew that even if he activated the Genesis scepter, it wouldn't have any effect. This person was too strong, unimaginably strong. Then he turned to face the rotten giant tree, leaving his back to Lin Mo. He raised his sword and instantly soared into the sky, fighting with the rotten giant tree. Countless branches and staffs were cut down. At this moment, Lin Mo was shocked. 45. He's actually protecting me. No, not protecting me, but protecting the human race. His whole body is rotten, he's clearly dead. But the last bit of will was preserved. Protecting the human race. Lin Mo Yu was greatly shaken. What kind of will is this? After his death, he turned into a rotting corpse, but still wasn't erased. His will has turned into an obsession. Then, powerful beings descended. That great battle back then left several god-level existences here. As soon as they appeared, they targeted the creation scepter in Lin Mo Yu's hand. Each one was extremely powerful, none of them Lin Mo Yu could contend with. But then, human god-level powerhouses appeared before Lin Mo Yu, blocking the attacks for him. Such things happened one after another. Human god-level powerhouses appeared one after another, pulling Lin Mo Yu back from the brink of death. The shock in Lin Mo Yu's heart had reached an indescribable level. What kind of will can withstand the erosion of time? Surpassing life, surpassing time. Deep into the bone marrow, sinking into every inch of the body. A strong sense of respect rose in Lin Mo Yu's heart. Okay, Dongfang Yao's voice rang in his ear. The barrier didn't seem to have changed, but when Lin Mo Yu touched the barrier, he knew it was different. His palm easily passed through. He looked at the human god-level powerhouses in the midst of the great battle one last time. If there's a chance in the future, I will revive you. Lin Mo Yu didn't know if he would have the chance, if he could do it. But at this moment, he truly made this wish. Then, he turned and walked into the barrier. As Lin Mo Yu left, the aura of the creation scepter disappeared, and the aura of a living person disappeared as well. The great battle stopped almost instantly. The human god-level powerhouses flew back to one of the mountain peaks together, and there was no more movement. The other rotting corpses also returned to their respective homes. Corpse World once again became a silent place, and darkness once again enveloped the earth. The next moment, the undead legion left by Lin Mo Yu disintegrated at the same time, all collapsing. Behind the barrier was a secret realm. The secret realm wasn't large, only about 100 meters in radius. In the center of the secret realm, there was a teleportation array. Lin Mo Yu glanced at the secret realm. This small secret realm was filled with a large number of arrays. If it were before, he wouldn't have understood the arrays at all. But now that he had the experience of being an array mage, he could understand a little. These arrays were connected to the barrier outside, and also connected to an even more terrifying seal. According to what Dongfang Yao said, this seal sealed the entire corpse world. In the past, the human race had paid a huge price to seal the corpse world. Great, we can go back through the teleportation array. Dongfang Yao checked the teleportation array. The teleportation array had the Dongfang family's mark on it. Dongfang Yao knew how to control it. Lin Mo Yu said, "Don't rush, let's rest here for a while." Dongfang Yao was puzzled. They could clearly go back, why did they need to rest? Then she understood. Lin Mo Yu summoned one skeleton after another. In that battle just now, in just 1 minute, the undead legion was almost completely wiped out. The only skeletons that survived were basically contaminated by the corpse poison, and in the end, less than 2,000 skeletons remained intact. Of the 22 Lich generals, 3 died, which was the smallest loss. But without skeletons, the Lich generals became commanders without troops, not very useful. Now that they could go back, with Lin Mo Yu's cautious nature, he had to replenish the undead legion before teleporting. In case something went wrong during the teleportation, at least there would be a way to deal with it. Dongfang Yao understood Lin Mo Yu's thoughts after a little thought, and sat down quietly to the side. Skeletons were summoned at a rate of 1 per second. Lin Mo Yu didn't stop for a moment, he could summon 3,600 per hour. It would take about 4 hours to replenish it completely. Dongfang Yao watched for a while and gradually realized that something was wrong. Doesn't his skill consume mental energy? I can clearly sense very strong mental fluctuations. Each skeleton requires a lot of mental energy. But how does it seem like his mental energy is inexhaustible? Just how strong is his mental attribute? Dongfang Yao was extremely shocked. She had always thought that Lin Moyu's combat power was very strong, but she had never paid attention to Lin Moyu's mental energy. In corpse world, every day was spent facing corpses and begging for survival, never thinking about other things. Now that she was safe, she truly relaxed and had the mind to pay attention to other things. Lin Moyu's silent summoning of skeletons really startled Dongfang Yao. Dongfang Yao realized one thing: if he didn't encounter an exceptionally powerful opponent, Lin Moyu's undead legion would probably be invincible. Especially when they arrived on the battlefield, the undead legion would be more effective than 10 times the number of demon armies of the same level. The most important thing was that the undead legion was not afraid of death, and could be replenished at any time after death. Even when Lin Moyu's level was higher, the number of the undead legion would be even more astonishing, and the skeletons would be even more powerful. At that time, Lin Moyu alone would be able to top an entire race's army. If only I could have such an army. Dongfang Yao shuddered and woke up. She knew that she was thinking too much, this was impossible. But she couldn't help but fantasize: if I could marry her. She thought of Lin Moyu's expression when he killed corpses, and a chill rose up. She realized that a person like Lin Moyu, who was decisive in killing, was definitely not someone she could control. Rather than becoming his wife, it was better to become his friend. Thinking this way, Dongfang Yao felt much more comfortable. Lin Moyu glanced at Dongfang Yao without leaving a trace. There was something wrong with this woman's eyes just now, but now she seemed normal again. Without caring about anything else, he continued to summon skeletons. Without replenishing the undead legion, there was no sense of security. Finally, after a full 4 hours, the undead legion that had been completely wiped out was replenished again. Not counting his own newly added summoning space, the 22 undead legions directly under the command of the Lich generals, a full 14,520 skeletons, were fully staffed again. Lin Moyu took a deep breath. Okay, let's go back. Dongfang Yao hummed, and immediately walked into the teleportation array, making one mark after another. As Dongfang Yao activated the teleportation array, in the magnificent array located underground in the palace, a brilliant light was suddenly released. 46. The spirit of the formation emerged, and at the same time, strands of thought were transmitted. The 3 divine level experts of the royal family, Dongfang Yi, Dongfang Li, and Dongfang Zan, simultaneously received the message. Someone had returned from the corpse realm through the teleportation array. Joy appeared on their faces as they rushed over. Meng Anwen also received the message simultaneously, and the next second he appeared before the spirit of the formation. He had been here before, silently leaving teleportation coordinates. He could come over at any time he wanted. When Dongfang Yi and the other 2 arrived, they found that Meng Anwen was already there. Greetings, Godin. Dongfang Yi was the first to salute Meng Anwen. Dongfang Li and Dongfang Zan also proactively greeted Meng Anwen. Although divine level experts were considered equals, Meng Anwen's strength compelled them to respect him. Meng Anwen merely grunted softly, ignoring them, and instead asked the spirit of the formation, who was teleported over. The spirit of the formation said, "A man and a woman, 2 people." As it spoke, a picture was projected in front of it, the picture showing Lin Moyu and Dongfang Yao. Meng Anwen couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It was good that Lin Moyu was alright. Dongfang Yi and the others also couldn't help but reveal joy. If Lin Moyu was alright, it meant that their Dongfang family was also alright. Dongfang Yao's survival was an unexpected delight. Dongfang Yi, as an old father, almost burst into tears. The 3 of them were well aware of what kind of place the corpse realm was, and how difficult it was to return. Even if they went, they would basically have a near certain death. In recent days, they had given up all hope. They didn't expect the surprise to come so suddenly. It would take some time to teleport back from the corpse realm. Meng Anwen looked at Dongfang Yi and the others. This time, consider yourselves lucky that the Dongfang family is preserved. After saying that, he teleported away, not staying there. 10 seconds later, the killing intent that had enveloped the royal family for over a month receded like the tide. Chapter 379. Safe return, Dongfang family escapes a disaster. The teleportation lasted for a full 5 minutes, crossing a vast distance. Lin Moyu and Dongfang Yao finally returned to the world of the human race. The teleportation had just ended, their vision hadn't recovered yet, but a familiar feeling had already been conveyed. After seeing clearly, they saw Dongfang Yi, Dongfang Li, and another Dongfang Zan whom Lin Moyu didn't recognize. Father! With an exclamation, Dongfang Yao threw herself into Dongfang Yi's embrace. Tears couldn't stop falling. I thought I would never see you again. Dongfang Yi gently patted Dongfang Yao's back. It's all right, it's all right. As a father, he was overjoyed that his daughter had returned alive. For over a month, his heart had been ashen. The Dongfang family was threatened, and his daughter might never return. Under the double pressure, he was close to collapsing. Even if he was a divine-level expert, so what? Even if he was the ruler of the country, so what? At the end of the day, he was still a person, a father. Lin Moyu's gaze was slightly cold. This time, your Dongfang family needs to give me an explanation. They had returned, but things didn't end there. He almost hadn't been able to return, if it hadn't been for luck. This matter, it wasn't over. Lin Moyu wasn't that magnanimous. Although he still owed the other party a favor couldn't be compared to life. Moreover, he had safely brought Dongfang Yao back. This favor had long been repaid enough. Hearing Lin Moyu's slightly cold words, Dongfang Yi also knew that this time it was his side that was wrong. He immediately said, this matter was indeed done wrong by our Dongfang family, almost causing harm to God General Lin. God General Lin, please rest assured, we will definitely give God General Lin an explanation for this matter. At the same time, we will also provide sufficient compensation. Lin Moyu didn't press too hard either. Since Dongfang Yi had said so, he would naturally keep his word. At this time, the family crisis was resolved, and Dongfang Yao had returned safely. Whether it was Dongfang Li or Dongfang Zan, they both breathed a long sigh of relief. Dongfang Li chuckled softly. God General Lin, your sister has been waiting outside the palace for over a month. Are you going to see her? My sister is here. Where is she? After returning to the ground through the teleportation array, Dongfang Yi said, the teleportation array leading to outside the palace has been destroyed by your sister, or should I take God General Lin to fly over? No need, I'll go myself. After Lin Moyu finished speaking, the wings of lightning spread open with a whoosh, carrying him into the air. After discerning the direction, Lin Moyu had already sensed Lin Mohan's aura. The wings of lightning trembled slightly, and his body shot away like lightning. After Lin Moyu left, Dongfang Yi said, this time, it can be considered a blessing in disguise. Yaoer has returned safely, and the family's crisis can be considered resolved. Dongfang Li said softly, our Dongfang family has been in existence for thousands of years since the founding of the Divine Xia Empire, and this is the first time we have encountered such a great disaster. We are truly ashamed of our ancestors. Dongfang Zan also shook his head and sighed softly, we are useless. Dongfang Yao looked at the three of them acting like they were putting on a show, one sentence after another, with a blank expression, not knowing what was happening. Dongfang Yi pulled her. Yaoer, tell me in detail about what happened in the corpse realm for over a month. Dongfang Li was also extremely curious. Although God General Lin is powerful, he is only invincible among his peers. There are many powerful existences in the corpse realm, especially in the central area. How did you return? Dongfang Yao nodded and slowly recounted her experiences in the corpse realm. Outside the palace, Lin Moyu appeared beside Lin Mohan like lightning. Seeing Lin Moyu, Lin Mohan's beautiful face immediately lit up with joy, and she hugged Lin Moyu tightly. Tears streamed down her face. Xiao Yu, I knew you would be alright. Lin Moyu smiled, of course I'll be alright. How did elder sister know that I was trapped in the corpse realm? Lin Mohan had been guarding outside the palace for over a month, the reason for which Lin Moyu could guess a bit without saying. Lin Mohan shook her head. I don't know anything about the corpse realm. It was teacher who calculated that you might be in danger, so she asked me to guard outside the palace. Lin Mohan told the story once. It turned out that Lin Mohan's teacher had calculated that he was in danger, and specially asked Lin Mohan to guard outside the palace. As for the specific method of guarding, there was no explanation. Everything was decided by Lin Mohan herself. Unexpectedly, his own elder sister had made such an overbearing move. Lin Mohan said, in the past month or so, some people from the Dongfang family wanted to escape, but they were all beaten back by me. Lin Moyu said with a smile, if something really happened to me, elder sister really planned to slaughter the Dongfang family. Lin Mohan snorted softly, that's natural. Not only will I take action, but Xiao Yu's teachers will also take action. The Dongfang family had not had a good time in the past month or so, with a knife hanging over their heads all the time. The mad god's killing intent had never dissipated, and it was getting stronger and stronger as time went on. The feeling given to the people in the royal family was that the knife above their heads was getting closer and closer to their necks. Lin Moyu also knew that during the time he was trapped in the corpse realm, his loved ones had done a lot for him. They had prepared to fight the Dongfang family for his sake. Regardless of the outcome, this battle would inevitably be an earth-shattering battle. The Dongfang family, as the royal family, must have a lot of people under their command. 47. Calling friends and companions, who knows how many god-level powerhouses will be summoned. And Meng Anwen and the other two also have friends, as well as the military. Once a fight breaks out, the entire empire might be shattered. Lin Moyu then realized that, unknowingly, his life and death were already related to the survival of the empire. Lin Mohan said, "It's good that Xiaoyu is okay. Go back and see your teachers, they must be worried sick." Lin Moyu said softly, "What about you, sister?" Lin Mohan smiled playfully, "I'm going back to level up, it's been a month since I leveled up. The teacher's plans have been disrupted, he must be furious." Her smile carried a hint of playfulness, and Lin Moy could tell that Lin Mohan was in a good mood because he had returned safely. When she mentioned her teacher, she used a very relaxed tone. This shows that her teacher is very good to her. Lin Moy nodded. "When will you be free, sister?" Lin Mohan thought for a moment. Although the old man didn't say it, I can guess that it will probably be after the god level. Unexpectedly, that person's requirements are so high. But according to Lin Moy's current leveling speed, god level doesn't seem too far away. In less than 2 years, he went from job transfer to level 70 and completed the third job transfer. This speed is probably unprecedented, and even he may not be able to catch up. In the palace, Dongfang Yao recounted in detail what happened in the corpse realm over the past month. She talked about how, when she first entered the corpse realm, she was panicked, but Lin Moy was extremely calm, even using corpses for experiments. Dongfang Yao felt a little ashamed. The difference between their performances was so great. 0. Later, he even absorbed lightning and entered a magical secret realm. Although Dongfang Yao didn't know what that secret realm was, the whole process was very magical. She never thought that there would be such a vibrant secret realm in the corpse realm. Until the final battle, Dongfang Yao fully activated the barrier and didn't pay much attention. But judging from the damage to the undead army, this battle was truly extremely fierce. Dongfang Li looked thoughtful. This child, Lin Moy, is too calm, far beyond ordinary people. His temperament is very strong, especially in the final central area. I can imagine what level of opponent he faced. Even we may not be able to retreat completely. Dongfang Yi asked, "Yaoer, what does that small staff that you couldn't touch look like? Can you draw it?" Dongfang Yao nodded and immediately took out paper and pen to draw. Her painting skills are good, obviously she has learned it. The staff of Genesis is lifelike under her pen. Several people looked at the staff of Genesis under Dongfang Yao's pen and gasped. Dongfang Yi couldn't hide the shock in his heart. It's actually the staff of Genesis. Unexpectedly, the staff of Genesis, the source of the war back then, has reappeared. The Dongfang family guards the corpse realm and they still know some of the inside story of the war back then. They are also clear about the key to the inheritance of the god of life, the staff of Genesis. Dongfang Li looked at the painting and suddenly said in a low voice, "There's nothing on the staff of Genesis." "Yaoer, didn't you draw it completely?" Dongfang Yao said, "It's all drawn, there's really nothing on the staff." Dongfang Li said in a deep voice, "It seems that the staff of Genesis is damaged, the core of life is gone. Without the core of life, the staff of Genesis is a waste product, only when the two are combined can it work." Dongfang Yao asked, "What is the use of the staff of Genesis?" Dongfang Yi chuckled, "There is a chance to become a super god." Ah! Dongfang Yao covered her small mouth, too shocked to speak. Earth. Chapter 380 Blackmail, Bai Yiyuan is a professional. The 3 god-level powerhouses of the Dongfang family did not have the idea of AA robbing. One is that they dare not, and the other is that it is useless. Lin Moy's identity is there, unless they can do it seamlessly. And they all know that Lin Moy will not really die. Even if Lin Moy is killed, he can eventually be resurrected in the Hall of Heroes. Unless it is in a special place like the corpse realm, with a long distance between 2 worlds, and completely covered by seals, then death is real death. Otherwise, even in the ancient battlefield in the Abyss world, Lin Moi can be resurrected if he dies. It is precisely because of this that Meng Anwen and others were so excited this time. Even at the cost of fighting to the death with the Dongfang family. The second is indeed useless. Without the core of life, the Staff of Genesis is a waste product. Dongfang Yao also said that she couldn't even touch the Staff of Genesis. They are not fools and will not do things that are not beneficial. Dongfang Yi said in a deep voice, rest for 2 days first, and in 2 days Yaoer and I will go to see General Lin. For more than a month, the Divine Sha Tower has always stood in the Shajing Academy. In the past, the Divine Sha Tower appeared for only a few days. It has never appeared here for such a long time. Many people come to observe the Divine Sha Tower every day. As one of the 3 divine towers of the Divine Sha Empire, it is full of various legends. Energy is always surging outside the Divine Sha Tower, like a barrier, making it only visible from a distance and inaccessible. But today the Divine Sha Tower suddenly disappeared, and many people who came to observe it went away empty-handed. Bai Shen's small courtyard returned to its former appearance. Meng Anwen lay comfortably on the chair, his eyes slightly closed, looking leisurely. Bai Yiyuan and Yan Guangsheng sat separately, not arguing from time to time. Lin Moi was making tea and pouring water for the 3 of them. He has explained in detail the journey to the corpse realm, including many secrets that even the Dongfang family does not know. Who can be more clear about the significance of the war than the God of Life? Lin Moi also took out the Staff of Genesis. It's just a pity that the 3 of them, like Dongfang Yao, can only watch but not touch. No one but Lin Moi can touch the Staff of Genesis. Bai Yiyuan said, if we can find the core of life, Xiao Yu's probability of becoming a super god will be high. Meng Anwen pondered for a moment and said in a low voice, I don't think this is a good thing. External objects can only be used, not relied on. Lin Moi could understand the meaning in his words. If he can find the core of life and completely repair the Staff of Genesis, relying on external objects is not the best choice. Yan Guangsheng raised his eyebrows. Old Meng is right, external objects are not good to rely on, no matter when, you are the most reliable. But the Staff of Genesis should be a good mythical equipment, you can look at the attributes then. Mythical equipment, an existence that surpasses the legendary level, is extremely powerful and precious. There are only 2 pieces in the entire human race. Lin Moi said softly, don't worry, teacher, I won't rely on external objects. Even if his profession wants to rely on external objects, it is estimated that it will not work. After the second job transfer to become the Undead Lord, he almost rejected all equipment. 48. Lin Mo was also very distressed, wondering what kind of equipment he could use. Now he was truly relying on himself completely. Lin Mo asked, teacher, this time many of my skeletons died, some were killed directly, and my talent failed. Bai Yiyuan said, this is normal, his talent may have this effect. Yan Guangsheng continued, it's also possible that his attack is too strong enough to cut off the connection to your talent, summon a skeleton. Lin Mo summoned a skeleton as instructed. Yan Guangsheng casually unleashed a hand blade. A huge blade aura rushed out, wrapped in Yan Guangsheng's terrifying killing intent, sweeping across the skeleton. The skeleton exploded instantly, destroyed in an instant. Lin Mo was shocked, his skeleton died so easily. The comprehensive connection talent had no effect whatsoever. Teacher, how did you do that? Lin Mo asked. Yan Guangsheng said, your talent is called comprehensive connection, as long as I sever the connection, won't your talent fail? In the end, your skeleton is too weak, not high enough level. Lin Mo understood. Whether the opponent's talent was strong enough or the attack was high enough, they could bypass his talent and directly destroy the skeleton. In other words, he was still too weak. Meng Anwen said in a low voice, according to what Xiao Yu said, the guys in the corpse world aren't scary, the only trouble is the corpse poison. The reason why our human race sages sealed the corpse world was ultimately because they were worried about the spread of corpse poison. Lin Mo asked, teacher, even a god-level healer can't resolve corpse poison. Meng Anwen shook his head, low-level ones can, high-level ones can't. According to Dongfang Yao, if he could resolve corpse poison, he would help her save someone. It was estimated that someone in her family had been poisoned by corpse poison, and it was the high-level kind. Otherwise, with her family's power, they should be able to invite a god-level healer to take action. Teacher, do you think it's possible for people to be resurrected after death? Lin Mo thought of the human race god-level experts who saved him in the end. Although they were dead, their wills were immortal. Bai Yiyuan said, unless a soul imprint is left behind, and the soul returns to the imprint after death, then there is a chance for resurrection. But god-level experts are dead when they die, no chance. Lin Mo didn't understand why god-level experts couldn't be resurrected. Yan Guangsheng stood up and patted Lin Mo on the shoulder, you'll understand in the future. Bai Yiyuan also got up and patted Lin Mo on the shoulder, this time you were lucky, be careful in the future. In a couple of days, Dongfang Yi will definitely come to apologize, and then your teacher will help you rip them off. The Dongfang family is the royal family, in charge of the empire for so many years, they have a lot of good things. These days, just go outside, whether it's to rest or farm dungeons, just don't show up if you can, and don't come back. Meng Anwen and Bai Yiyuan had been together for so many years, and knew what Bai Yiyuan meant, it's good that you're not here, so Lao Bai can rip them off more smoothly. Yan Guangsheng rarely didn't refute this time, indeed, this guy is good at ripping people off. They all thought Lin Mo was thin-skinned and wouldn't ask for a high price. It was a rare opportunity, how could they miss it? With Bai Yiyuan around, coupled with Yan Guangsheng's murderous look, they could definitely make the Dongfang family bleed heavily. Lin Mo was kicked out of Bai Shen's small courtyard. He wasn't allowed to go back for these days. Before leaving, Bai Yiyuan told him to return to Genesis Academy in half a month, the ancestral land was about to open. Lin Mo returned to Shajing Academy again, walking in the academy, he had a feeling of being in another world. Spending more than a month in the dark corpse world, having to be struck by lightning every day, was truly not a life for humans. Sometimes Lin Mo felt like he was about to become a walking corpse. Fortunately, he finally made it out. Really, is there no way to resurrect them? Lin Mo thought in his heart. According to Bai Yiyuan, it was impossible to resurrect them. But listening to the words of the God of Life, it seemed not impossible. For some reason, Lin Mo felt that the words of the God of Life seemed more credible. Everything should always have hope. Just thinking, suddenly his ears twitched slightly, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. A rare smile overflowed on his face. A fragrant breeze entered his nose, and someone hugged him from behind. You're back. Lin Mo's voice was soft, without any coldness. Having killed so much, Lin Mo would always inadvertently reveal a hint of coldness when speaking. But not this time, not even a little bit. There were not many people in the world who could be treated like this by Lin Mo. The person behind him was one of them. The answering voice was equally soft, like a well-behaved kitten. Ning Yi's head gently rubbed against Lin Mo's back. Fortunately, she had just taken a shower and changed into clean clothes. When she first came back from the corpse world, she had a rotten smell on her body, which was extremely unpleasant. Gently holding Ning Yi's soft and smooth little hand, enjoying the softness coming from behind. It's been so long, you must be tired, Lin Mo said with a smile. Ning Yi nodded, then shook her head, without speaking. Lin Mo turned around and hugged her. Rest, leave the leveling to me next. Ning Yi gently hummed, smiling more brilliantly than the sun.